New York, Avec La Vie, and more. Plus, get 15% off fragrances, beauty, and skincare, too. It's not only the best time to shop for yourself, it's also the best time to shop early for Mother's Day. Don't miss Friends and Family and Sunday at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
If it happens in Yankton, you hear about it on KYNT, Yankton's home team.
Saturday, May 10th is the annual Avera Race Against Cancer. You can build a team to race. You can come just as a solo runner or walker. Friends and coworkers are invited. There's a survivor recognition event. And the options include a 1-mile walk, a 5K run, or a virtual race. 100% of the funds raised stay local. Cancer has many colors, and Avera supports them all. They invite you to run this town Saturday, May 10th. Full race details at averarace.org.
From community events to cancellations, for local information you need, this is KYNT, Yankton's home team.
You are listening to Mount Marty University Baseball on KYNT, Yankton's home team and the flagship station for Lancer Athletics. This broadcast is brought to you in part by
Dakota Beverage, Lewis and Clark Ford, Dakota Mac, Fairfield Inn and Suites, and Holiday Inn Express in Yankton, Foreman Tours, Sherco, Pizza Ranch, Parker Hennepin, Gerstner Oil, The Meat Lodge, Marlowe Woodward and Huff, Core Trust Bank, Aztec, Runza, Conkling Distributing, The Move Group, Avera.
Now we go live to the action.
Welcome into the GPAC Tournament Championship game down in Sioux City, Iowa is where the host site is. Briar University, the 4 seed in the GPAC tournament, is playing host to the 7 seed Mount Marty University Lancers. The Chargers, Lancers ready to battle here in about a half hour. One team will remain when it is all said and done to go to the national tournament. And as we have 2 underseeds competing for the tournament championship, one of them's going home. It is a pretty low chance either of them's going to get an at-large bid. This is truly a championship game, win or go home. I'm Tehl Tanner alongside Brayden Butler. We're ready to roll here in Sioux City.
Yeah, this game just means more. Obviously, you want to win a conference championship. That's everybody's goal when they start at the start of the years, even in their careers, to win a conference title and then from there see what happens. But this just means more because, like you said, it is win or go home for both these two teams. It's a 4 seed against a 7 seed. Neither team really in line to potentially get an at-large bid. This means everything, and we're going to see both teams play like it today.
When the way we bring, or the reason I bring that up is because a lot of times you see these higher teams in conference tournaments, including the GPAC tournament over the last couple of years. A lot of time the loser of this game, their season isn't done. They still get in the national tournament and get to roll on. That is not going to be the case today. This is massive. This is an incredibly impactful game. Both teams are going to be throwing their best. They're going to be doing everything they can to win a GPAC championship. For the Lancers, this could be their 3rd in their history and the first since 2012 for Briar. They're looking for their 1st today.
It should be a good one, and like you said, a lot for both these teams on the line. Potentially the first GPAC Conference Championship for Briar, and the first since, as you mentioned, 2012. That's I'm going to tell. I don't want to talk about the passage of time too much, but that's 13 years ago now. It's been over a decade since the Lancers have claimed a GPAC Conference Championship. So a lot riding on today. Both these teams hungry to bring that title home.
And it's a beautiful day for baseball, I tell you what. We've got 77 degrees right at the moment, high temperatures, and about 79, 80 today. It is going to be nice, warm weather, and the wind is not very strong. It's coming in less than 10 miles an hour, blowing in from the kind of south or east-southeast a little bit at the moment, which is right to left on this field in Sioux City, Bishop Memorial Field, as we are getting rolling here. So yeah, beautiful weather. We are ready to start this ball game at Bishop Mueller Complex here in Sioux City. Mount Marty, Briar for the GPAC Championship coming up in about a half hour. Let's go ahead and take a break now. We'll come back in a little bit and we'll talk about the rest of these teams and how the GPAC tournament kind of shook out and how they got here. Back in a couple of minutes. You're listening to Mount Marty Lancer Baseball on KYNT.
Hard Mountain Dew, the dew you love with a kick of 5% alcohol. It's a new flavored malt beverage available in 4 bold flavors, including Mountain Dew, Baja Blast, Livewire, and Watermelon. Mountain Dew lovers of legal drinking age can experience the bold citrus flavors of the soft drink they know and love with 5% alcohol, 0 caffeine, and no added sugar. Experience hard flavors like Original Mountain Dew, Livewire, Baja Blast, Watermelon, or Baja Blast Pineapple, Punch, and Mango flavors. Get your Dew today.
Hey, son, can you hand me that vice grip? As any farmer or rancher knows, having the right tools in the toolbox is important. That goes for your ag lending as well. If you're considering expansion, restructuring debt, or purchasing equipment, call Dakota Mac. We have a toolbox full of lending solutions to help you with your ag financing needs.
Hi, it's Jeff Wolfgram from Dakota Mac. Call us at 800-682-4578 to learn how Dakota Mac products can work for you.
You pay what we pay with Ford's From America, For America employee pricing event, now through June 2nd at Lewis & Clark Ford. Get employee pricing on most new Ford vehicles. That means you can get a vehicle from America's great car company at below dealer invoice, and employee pricing is in addition to any other discounts or incentives available. See our new Ford selection at 4th and Capitol Yankton or online at lewisandclarkford.com. Employee pricing now at Lewis & Clark Ford.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Traveling to Yankton for business or pleasure? Then book your stay at Yankton's 2 best hotels, the Fairfield by Marriott and Holiday Inn Express. Both are conveniently located to everything in Yankton. Both offer complimentary hot breakfast and meeting rooms for business travelers. And if you want a great rate with flexible reservation changes, call either hotel direct. The Fairfield by Marriott and Holiday Inn Express, 2 great hotel choices when visiting or arranging rooms for guests to Yankton.
Are you looking for the easy way to travel? Let Foreman Charters do the driving for your next trip. Foreman has some amazing trips planned for 2025, including a 5-day Mississippi River cruise that features a Broadway production of Chicago, running from May 27th to the 31st. Also planned is a Memphis and Nashville 9-day Music Lovers tour featuring Graceland and the Grand Ole Opry, running June 16th to the 24th. For more on these and other 2025 Foreman Charter tours, go to foremanbus.com.
All right, back here on the pregame show from Coors Light and Miller Lite. Always remember, drink responsibly. The GPAC Tournament Championship just a little ways away from getting underway. My name is Tehl Tanner alongside Brayden, Butler, Mount Marty. Briar Cliff is the matchup here today. Well, let's go to our GPAC kind of report, our rundown brought to you by Dakota Mac.
Got a lot of papers weighed down in here just so they're not blowing around. Got to get the right one.
Whether you're a farmer, rancher, investor, or simply a Lancer fan, look to Dakota Mac for your ag financing needs. Visit dakotamac.com to learn more. Let's roll through how the Mount Marty Lancers got here. Then we'll go to Briar Cliff's side of things. Mount Marty actually, in a really unfortunate series of events for them, they ended up being able to host a pod alongside Morningside in Yankton. So they had a little bit of an advantage there, playing in their home stadium. They beat the 3-seed Doane 10-4 in game 1. After that, in game 2, they beat Morningside in game 1, day 1, 8-5. That took them straight to Friday, where they once again found Morningside. Thursday evening saw a matchup between the 2 and 3, Morningside and Doane battling it out. 1-run game in the end. Morningside does advance to Friday. Doesn't matter. Lancers take them out in 1 game, 8-6 final. Lancers move on as the 7 seed to this game, the GPAC tournament. Go to the other end. Let's go to Briar Cliff's journey through the Concordia pod.
Yeah, down in Seward, Nebraska, Briar Cliff actually played game 1 of the day. It was a 4-2 win over the 5th seed Midland. And then at the end of the night, Concordia defeated Dakota Wesleyan 9-4. Set up the 2 winners in game number 3 on Thursday, May 1st. Briar Cliff upsetting the top seed and the host of the pod in Concordia 5-4. Concordia was able to battle back at the end of the night as Dakota Wesleyan defeated Midland 7-5, knocking out Midland, and then Concordia defeated Dakota Wesleyan 13-2 to knock out the Tigers. And that led us to what ended up being Saturday because weather and rain affected things on Friday the 2nd. Briarcliff fell in game 1 to Concordia. It was a close game 1 between the two teams, but in game number 2, 16-3, Briarcliff really showed out with things. It was a massive 6th inning for the Chargers. 14 runs in the 6th. It was 2-2 before that. So a huge late run there for Briarcliff. Punched their ticket to the GPAC championship today.
Overall, Briarcliff enters today 27-22 overall. They finished 17-11 in conference. Lancers, on the other end, finished 12-16 in conference, 29-21 overall. This is all before the tournament going into these today.
That conference record for Briarcliff, to tell what it doesn't show is, I believe it's 13 of the last 15 GPAC games were wins for Briarcliff. That includes the one loss to Concordia in the conference tournament. Probably the hottest team in the GPAC coming into the tournament. Something clicked for them around the turn of April.
Yeah, it's been impressive what they've been able to do here. The turn of April, as you said, it was that Hastings series. Before that, losing to Midland right at the start of April 5th and 6th, 3-1 in a series. Then they beat Hastings in 4 straight games. Dakota Wesleyan, they beat them in 4 straight games. Dort, they do split with. Waldorf, they sweep, and that takes them straight into the postseason tournament. They're hot right now. They're playing good baseball. The Lancers go only 3 games in their pod. These are 2 underseeds that got hot at the right time, and they are ready to make some waves. Either one of them could legit put up some upsets in the national tournament, and one of them is going to have the chance to do so. We'll take another break. We'll come back in a couple of minutes on your pregame show from Coors Light and Miller Lite. Remember to drink responsibly. That from Dakota Mac. Whether you're a farmer, rancher, investor, or simply a Lancer fan, look to Dakota Mac for your ag financing needs. Visit dakotamac.com to learn more. Let's take a break. We'll come back over the stats today. Alongside Brayden Butler, I'm Tehl Tanner. It's KYNT.
Did you know Sherco offers more than egg tarps? As an industry leader in construction, waste, and flatbed tarping systems, Sherco offers manual and electric tarp systems for not only grain trailers and grain carts, but also side dumps, end dumps, belly dumps, roll-offs, flatbeds, and more. To learn more, give us a call at 1-800-474-8756 or find us at Sherco.com. Demand the best, demand Sherco.
When it's time to celebrate, Pizza Ranch is ready. This is Mike with the Yankton Pizza Ranch. We've got plenty of room and plenty of food on our buffet for everyone, loaded with pizzas, desserts, and the country's best chicken. Everyone leaves a winner, so make it a buffet day at Pizza Ranch of Yankton, available every day from 11 to 8.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
Olson Pest Technicians is a family-owned business since 1966. And with over 50 years of pest management, they understand your issues, and their well-trained team will help you solve your pest problems. Issues with cockroaches, ants, bedbugs, bats, termites, spiders, rats, mice, or other creepy crawling pests? Give your home a fresh start and use the proven method of fumigation to take care of your pest problem. Olson's Pest Technicians will thoroughly get rid of pests so you can rest easy again. Call Olson Pest today, 800-KILL-BUG. That's 1-800-KILBUGS.
Imagine paid vacation, sick leave, holidays, and full medical coverage the moment you started a new job. Plus quarterly profit sharing, 5% 401k match, and a company-paid retirement plan. Your first day on the job. With Parker of Yankton, you don't have to imagine, because all these benefits begin day one. We are hiring assemblers, material handlers, and line operation techs for both shifts. Don't mind working nights? Enjoy a pay differential of $235. If you're looking to upgrade your career and have day one benefits, apply today at Parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
The Dakota Theater in Yankton is always in need of volunteers. There's something for everyone, such as being involved with shows on or off stage, selling concessions, greeting, ushering, cleaning before and after, cleaning the bathrooms, organizing, helping with the lights, the sound, the costumes, decorating, and more. The Dakota Theater in Yankton is so grateful for every volunteer. Theaters for everyone. For more information, go to dakotatheater.org or call 665-4711.
The thought of moving can be overwhelming. This is Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and with 20 years of experience, I know how to make the process less stressful. The market is just heating up, so if you're thinking of buying or selling, call me and we'll talk about the whole process. And when you're ready, I'll guide you every step of the way. Call me, Deb Speck, with Vision Real Estate, 605-664-5555.
All right, back here on the pregame show, let's go through today's stats, talking about these two teams and kind of how they compare. We'll roll through. We do have our lineup cards. We were just handed them. We're taking a look at them now. Brayden is going to give you our starting pitchers here in just a second and tell you a little about them. I'm going to tell you a little about the team hitting stats on the season. Mount Marty on Friday just played their 50th game of the season and hit their 56th home run as a team. Aiden Chang, 2 of those in the game to give them that. 376 runs the Lancers scoring through those 50 games. They're averaging about 7.5 runs a game on the season as a team. Batting, they're batting .321 as a program and a .418 on-base percentage. This Lancer 9 is really good. They can get on base just anytime they feel like it, and they are scoring runs at will. Briar Cliff, on the other hand, no slouch at all, especially when it comes to their hitting. 49 games, 48 home runs, 329 runs they have scored through those 49 games, averaging just under 7 runs a contest. Batting average is a .304 as a team and a .392 on-base percentage. Those are team averages. Both of these teams can get after it when they get hot. And Briar Cliff, even though they're a little bit lower than the Lancers in the averages, recently they've been hitting a lot better than the beginning of the season, which kind of hurts the average, but they are better than their average actually shows right now. They're playing good. Let's go over to the pitchers now. Tell me about these two starters.
They should be graded on a curve, is what you're saying. If we take the last month of the season to account, Briar Cliff has been absolutely hitting the cover off the ball. But on the pitching end of things, it's Palmer Jacobs on the mound. Game 1 for the Lancers, so we'll start there. Jacobs has 7-2 record on the year, 12 appearances, 11 starts, 1 complete game. He's pitched 66 2/3 innings, which is the most on the team. He's got 4.59 ERA, a batting average against him of .280. He's got 40 strikeouts as well, and he's only walked 15 batters this season. A very, very good pitcher for the Lancers, and he's going to be going up against a guy who is at the top of the rotation, near the top of the rotation for Briar Cliff as well, in Nick Hayes. 6-2 record across 13 appearances, 11 of them starts, including 3 complete games for Hayes. Got a 4.08 ERA across 68 innings pitched, most innings pitched on the team, and a batting average against him of .296. 47 strikeouts to 17 walks for Hayes. A very good pitching matchup today, and with how hot both pairs of batters have been, it's very important to have good pitchers on the mound.
Brought to you by the Meat Lodge. If you want top quality meat at great prices, head to the Meat Lodge in Yankton, all the way to the lake, Highway 52. We're actually going to keep this right here for a second as we're starting to run out of time in our pregame. We're going to go straight to our starting lineups here. This all brought to you today by Foreman Charters. Let Foreman Charters do the driving for your next trip. See upcoming tours at foremanbus.com. Mount Marty versus Briar Cliff. Let's start it off with the Lancers.
We'll go through their batting order. They'll be batting first as the road team today. Batting leadoff and playing catcher will be Aiden Chang. Batting second, playing center field will be Jalen Owens. Batting third, playing third base, Ryan Bachman. Batting fourth, playing second base, Daniel Vonnegut. Batting fifth, playing right field, Shugo Kondo. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, Tyler Vance. Batting seventh, playing left field, Will Gardner. Cooper Milnerick will bat eighth, playing first base, and Jackson Noem rounds out the order as the designated hitter. Palmer Jacobs, of course, on the mound. Will have Noem hit for him. As for Briar Cliff, how they line up in the field, it will be Jake Cronick out in left field, Damon Schmid in center field, and then out in right field will be Cam Reimer. Third base will be Diego Trujillo. Shortstop today will be Raynon Padilla. Playing second base for the Chargers will be number 4, Rance Bryant, and playing first base will be number 43, Nico Saul, who's got a very hot bat right now, just across the board for the Chargers. Your catcher today for Briar Cliff will be Cade Marquardt, and on the mound will be, once again, Nick Hayes. Designated hitter today is number 10, Connor Newbeck, the 6'2 junior for the Chargers.
That all brought to you today by Foreman Charters. Let Foreman Charters do the driving for your next trip. See upcoming tours at foremanbus.com. With that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll come back with the head coach of the Mount Marty Lancers in Josh Tykrow. I spoke with him a little earlier today about this contest and what we're about to see with the GPAC Championship. Back in a couple of minutes here on KYNT with Coach Tykrow.
Do you suffer from spring allergies? It may be time to visit a chiropractor. Yes, a chiropractor. Most people never consider chiropractic as an option, but we can help provide relief for allergy problems. This is Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson from First Chiropractic Centers. Chiropractic care helps to keep the body's immune system operating at a higher level, causing it not to overreact to allergens such as pollen, dust, or pet dander. Call First Chiropractic Centers or visit us at firstchiropracticcenter.com. First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Tired of fine print confusion? Vision Insurance Group will help you see your insurance coverage clearly without straining your budget, covering everything from life and home insurance to auto, business, and long-term care. Vision Insurance Group offers coverage for South Dakota, Iowa, and Nebraska residents. Visit VisionInsuranceGRP.com to get a personalized quote today. Vision Insurance Group, protecting your future so you can live in the vision.
Beef, pork, seafood, poultry, and more. All at the Meat Lodge in Yankton. Get top quality meats at great prices. They have specialty items like lamb, brisket, mahi-mahi, crab legs, and lobster. They even have non-meat options like Dimmick cheese, pickled items, seasonings, and sauces. For your convenience, you can call and order curbside pickup or order online at meatlodge.com. The Meat Lodge in Yankton, on the way to the lake on Highway 52.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. CoreTrust helps your business thrive with checking, online bill pay, small business loans, credit card processing, local approval and support for government grants and loans, investments to grow your hard-earned assets, and insurance to protect them. All from CoreTrust, the community bank that's right down the street and everywhere you want us to be. Visit CoreTrustBank.com today.
Member FDIC.
Looking for the perfect place to get together with friends and family, watch the game, and enjoy some of the best wings in town? Make plans to visit Checkers Sports Bar and Grill. Whether it's baseball, hockey highlights, or any other sport, your game day cravings are covered. Enjoy the action while you dig into mouth-watering wings, juicy burgers, and stacked sandwiches. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Checkers Sports Bar and Grill is Yankton's favorite spot for food, friends, and sports. Your game days belong at Checkers.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Before the Lancers play, after the game, or maybe even while watching it here. Enjoy authentic flavor at RB Grill House and Sports Bar.
We're American themed and feature handcrafted dishes and daily specials with an amazing selection of beer and spirits. Enjoy burgers, steaks, wings, and ribs, sandwiches, salads, seafood, and plenty of HD TVs.
Authentic flavor,
family driven,
and a memorable atmosphere.
Join us at RB Grill House and Sports Bar next to River Rocks Event Center on Broadway in Yankton. Go Lancers!
Not all funerals are the same, and neither are funeral homes. This is Paul Wintz of the Wintz & Ray Funeral Home and Cremation Service in Yankton. A death in a family is one of life's most significant events. We understand the importance of such an event and realize there are no second chances. We will guide you through all your options so you are comfortable with the services chosen. Our experience, professionalism, compassion, and attention to detail will ensure everything is perfect. Wintz & Ray Funeral Home, Yankton.
All right, back here on the pregame show from Coors Light and Miller Lite. Always remember, drink responsibly as we go now to the coach interview from Sherco. When you need to be sure, make it Sherco. Head coach Josh Tycrow, you got your team back in the GPAC Tournament Championship game, coach. You are one win away from going back to the national tournament. Can you tell me how excited you are personally for this game? It's been a moment since the Lancers have been here.
Yeah, certainly. Very excited to say the least. Just proud of our guys and you know what they're doing and all the hard work that has been put in to get us to this point. And you know we got one more to get. Very excited.
Job's not finished, as you say. So let's talk about the job. Briar University, who's been on a hot streak, 15 of the last 16, and you go into that GPAC tournament pod at Concordia. They had a tough task going to Concordia, one of the top 15 teams in this nation, and they beat them in 2 out of 3 games to earn their spot here. You got to respect what they've done. What can you tell me about the Chargers?
Yeah, they're playing really well right now. They have some arms that have stepped up, and then offensively, they have a couple guys who have really been hitting well. The Trujillo kid, he's their third baseman. He's done a really nice job for them. And then Nico Saul, he's also been a key bat for them. But yeah, they're playing good baseball, and it should be a really fun matchup today.
And for you kind of got a little bit of a break because you only played 3 games this last weekend. You didn't have to go into the losers bracket at all. You didn't have to play an extra game Friday. So it worked out that you were able to keep some arms fresh. Tell me about your bullpen and who's starting on the mound today.
Yeah, so Palmer Jacobs will be starting today, and then really out of the bullpen we'll have almost everybody available, which is nice. Having that extra day helped for sure. We practiced yesterday and just kind of got to monitor arms and how guys were feeling, and we'll be pretty much full strength out of the bullpen today.
Let's talk about your hitting, which has really been the high point of the last couple of weeks. You've been putting them over the fence at will, especially a senior in Aiden Chang, but he's not the only one. You've had a full 1 through 9 that have really been hitting well. What has led to this?
Well, I think, there was a little breakthrough point towards probably 2/3 into our conference schedule where we just started to just find some confidence, and, it's a game, it's contagious, and, we've just been passing it along from one guy to the next of seeing the ball well and making, hard contact, executing when we need to execute. But also I think just ultimately just feeling free and playing free in the box. That's what we want our guys and our hitters to have that mindset. And it's really showing right now.
And Coach, championship game. What's the message to the guys today?
Well, I think the big thing is, you got to smile. You got to smile. You don't want to press at all. You got to play loose, but also just know, like, hey, man, like this is a heck of an opportunity. And we're going to have fun with it. And we're going to keep doing what we have been doing and trust that that's going to take care of it at the end of the day.
Coach, thank you very much for your time. Good luck today. It's the first time in over a decade Mount Marty's been in a chance to do what you're doing. Good luck. Let's bring it home.
Yes, thank you.
That'll do. That's from Sherco on KYNT. When you need to be sure, make it Sherco. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a couple of minutes for first pitch. Mount Marty, Briar Cliff, 1 9-inning game to finish it all.
Hey, we know an auto accident takes a bite out of your life. You hear that sickening crunch and it's instant stress. Who do I call? What will insurance cover? How long will this take? How much will it cost? Well, relax. You found Abra. Rest assured, the friendly Abra professionals will make your experience easy and hassle-free. They'll help you repair your car so you can get on with your life like nothing ever happened. Contact Abra today. Locally owned and operated by Northtown Automotive, North Highway 81. Looking for fuel or more? Stop by Triple Time Rudy's, your locally owned convenience store at 17th and Broadway. At Triple Time Rudy's, they're proud to support the community, offering fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers and backing local activities and events. Inside, you'll discover regional favorites like Dimmick Cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. Whether it's a quick snack, a tank of top quality fuel, or a taste of local goodness, Triple Time Rudy's, fueling your day, fueling the community.
All right, let's go ahead and start off this ball game. Mount Marty University, Briar Cliff Chargers, ready to roll here for the GPAC Tournament Championship. Alongside Brayden Butler, I'm Tehl Tanner. This game is just about to get underway. We just saw the starters. We just heard the national anthem. Briar Cliff, the home team in this one, as the higher seed. They start off in the field and on the mound. Lancer is going to bat first. And Brayden, we're going to see our first look at Aiden Chang, who has been on a tear recently.
Yeah, you don't see the catcher as the leadoff hitter a lot in baseball, but when you have a catcher like Chang, who has been hitting as well as he has down the stretch, almost, I think, just under double digits in home runs the last 3 weeks of the year. He has been sensational. We get to see him right away, and so does the Briar Cliff defense.
We talk about this guy a lot for a reason. The tournament that he just had, he had 9 RBIs in the 3 games for the Lancers. The next highest on the team, a couple of different players had it. It was 3. He had 9. That is how good this bat has been, and here he is coming up to lead off the Mount Marty Lancers. First pitch just about to get underway. Hayes once again on the mound for Briar University. Nick Hayes, a junior, 6'2" pitcher. Righty versus a righty batter in Chang. First pitch of the GPAC Tournament Championship. Ball one just came in.
You mentioned the RBIs, but also the home runs for Aiden Chang. 3 in that GPAC in the Morningside Mount Marty pod. The team had 4 total.
And all against Morningside as well. 4 total. The other one was Shugo Kondo against Doan in game 2 for the Lancers.
Something about playing teams from Sioux City. We'll see if it carries over for Chang today.
Chang got hit. They're going to hit the leadoff batter, and Chang will get on first base.
Might be the safest way to deal with Aiden Chang the way he's playing right now. And it looks like we got a courtesy runner for him in already. Dumont's been running for him most of the season.
Well, we saw it. You mentioned safest way to deal with him. We saw it in the pod championship game against Morningside just on Friday. Leadoff hitter, Chang stepped up and put it over the right field fence. Leadoff home run to start off the game. Briar Cliff will hit him and put him on. Now his courtesy runner, as he is the catcher, Cannon Dumont, comes in to run the bags. He's on first. Jalen Owens going to bunt here. Right to the pitcher, throw over to first. Not going to run it out this time, but that will advance a runner over to second. Marshall in scoring position as we welcome Ryan Bachman to the plate. Quick one pitch and out for Owens, but the sacrifice bunt did advance a runner.
We sit here talking about how powerful the bats have been and talking about the long ball and everything, and the Lancers come out immediately, hit by pitch, sack bunt to move the runner to second, playing small ball out of the gate.
Playing smart right away. Bachman now at the plate. A base hit could give the Lancers their first run of this game. We are early in the first inning, 1 out on the board. Strike one thrown here from Hayes for Bachman.
Bachman recorded the second most official at-bats during the GPAC pods, had a .286 batting average, 4 hits, 2 RBI for the third baseman.
Grounder over to the third baseman. That's going to freeze the runner at second, throw to first, and that is out number 2. Good play over there by the third baseman for Briar Cliff and Trujillo.
And good bounce back here for Hayes. Obviously, had a sacrifice bunt in the second at-bat, so you didn't really get to see much of how he attacked it. But after giving up the leadoff base runner on the mistake on the pitch inside, to be able to battle back for some easy contact to the left side of the infield.
Daniel Vonnegut's now the man who's going to try and bring home Marshall off second. Vonnegut, righty batter in the box, batting fourth in the lineup. Cleanup man today, takes strike one looking. Fastball right down the middle on the first pitch from Hayes.
Vonnegut had a bit of a tough stretch in the GPAC pod, but .375 batting average on the season is the second highest on the team, and the highest of anyone with more than 41 games played this year.
0-1 with 2 outs on the board. High this time, make it a 1-1 count. One pitch for Vonnegut. One of the highest on the team in batting average on the entire season. I believe finished second in the regular season, only Chang. And we're going to have the pitcher step off for a second, reset everything. 1-1 count remains with 2 outs. Vonnegut at the dish. Hayes ready to fire. Out towards center field. This one is high, gonna stay in here. Center fielder will bring it in for out number 3, and that will retire the Lancers in the top of the first. Schmid out in center with a good catch. Lancers get their leadoff man on from an HBP, then go 3 up, 3 down in the next 3 batters. Palmer Jacobs on the mound when we return. Briar Cliff gonna have their leadoff man Brian at the plate. Back in 60 seconds, just underway in Sioux City.
The other day, a woman came into the UPS store to make some color copies for a project. As we were finishing up, she asked if we could help her design and print graduation announcements for her daughter. The answer? Of course we can. Hi, this is Doug with the UPS store of Yankton. For over 8 years, we've been helping families with everything from basic copies to beautifully customized graduation announcements. Come see us at the UPS store today and let us help make your special occasions even more memorable.
Fitness has changed. There's no longer a need for a gym membership to access quality instructors and equipment. This is Ken at Ace Bike and Fitness, and we have the equipment you need for the best workout. Ellipticals, treadmills, rowing machines, and bikes, including the Schwinn indoor cycling bike that's a fraction of the price of the other brands. With Ace Bike and Fitness, we service what we sell, so you'll get our support even after you leave the store. Visit Ace Bike and Fitness today.
Bottom of the first inning, we'll start it off with Bryant at the plate. Rance Bryant ready to bat here, leading off for the Briar Chargers, and it's Palmer Jacobs on the mound for the Lancers. Jacobs already has gotten a win against this Briar team once this season. The Lancers swept Briar in the regular season. Jacobs started one of those games as his first pitch will hit the zone for strike one looking. Jacobs threw 7 innings against Briar earlier in a 9-inning game. He allowed only 1 run through those 7 innings, had 4 strikeouts, no walks. We faced 27 batters. It was a very, very good game for the redshirt sophomore. Strike 2 looking as well. 0-2 count to start things off for Bryant. Jacobs early up in the count.
This is a guy who's been a mainstay of the lineup, the only Charger to play in every game this season, started every game this season for Rance Bryant. Has a 322 average off the leadoff spot.
Jacobs, 0-2 pitch and his leadoff hitter, swing and miss for strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 down. You can't start much better than that for Palmer Jacobs.
3 pitches, 3 strikes, first punch out. Jacobs on his way to the 81 pitch, 27 strikeout game that we all know is very possible and easy to do.
Best statistical start you could absolutely have. Yeah, I like it. I like it. One out on the board. Next man up. High throw there. All right, well, that's out the window.
I already ruined it. I already ruined it, Tehl.
Announcer's jinx. That was your fault.
Jinxes don't exist, Tehl. I'll go walk under a ladder to prove it.
Jake Cronick is the left fielder, and he's up at the plate now. Cronick batting second in the order for the BC Chargers.
.42 appearances this season for Cronick out in the field. Only 29 of them starts. Has a .333 batting average. He's slugging at .531. He has a .413 on base.
At a ball throw here, so a 2-0 count coming in from Jacobs. Tried to check the swing, appeal down the first base line. He did go around, so that'll be strike 1. 2-1 count.
Another thing to keep an eye on for Cronick. He has 7 steals on the season, which is 3rd most on the team. He has not been caught yet if he's able to get on the bases.
Outside throw will make it 3-1 count for Jacobs. Second at bat of the day for the Chargers. 1 out on the board, 3 strikes and an out was the first batter of the day in Bryant. Trujillo, the 3rd baseman, is on deck. Cronick batting right now, the left fielder. 3-1 pitch on the way from Palmer Jacobs. Found the zone for strike 2, full count.
Jacobs would love to face these next 2 batters with 2 outs already on the board, with Trujillo and Saul on deck and in the hole.
Just makes you a little more comfortable. Full count pitch. Out towards center field. This one is high. Jalen Owens tracking it, getting underneath of it, and dropped it. Misread by the center fielder, and that is a rare mistake by a very, very good player for the Lancers. That's going to put one on.
Something to think about, Tehl, and I almost brought it up in the first inning because I saw a Briar center fielder out there shielding his eyes. The way the field's orientated, the sun is directly behind us right now, so the center fielder is basically staring into the sun as that ball comes across here in the middle of the afternoon.
You say directly behind us. It is directly behind us. You can see the long shadows of the net on the field, and it is straight going from home plate towards Owens in center field. He was looking directly in the sun on that.
I think about it this way, pretty much a south to north field, from center field down in up in Yankton at Riverside. A little different here. My cardinal directions aren't great right now, but
it is a beautiful park. We'll tell you all about it here after another pitch. An 0-1 count right at the moment, starting things off for Trujillo. Zone found there, an 0-2 count on the way. So at Bishop Mueller Complex, it's kind of an interesting outfield. You got a high wall in left field, a high wall in right field, in right center and left center, a low wall, and then in center field, a very, very high wall. It's like double the rest of it, which is interesting. 402 to center, 317 to the left field fence, and 322 to right.
You could tell me that's about a 6-foot fence in the gaps, maybe 10 foot down the lines, and it could be as high as 15 and direct dead to center.
So in other words, don't hit dead to center.
Well, or if you do, hit it off the blue monster, we'll call it.
Yeah, the blue monster, I like it. Nice big blue fence here for the blue-themed Briar Cliff Chargers. Foul ball off the bat of Trujillo here.
Haven't given Trujillo stats yet here in this at-bat, but he's got a 376 batting average, highest on the team, 37 RBI, 4 home runs, 16 extra base hits, 20 extra base hits, 15 of them doubles.
One-two pitch on the way for him with 1 out on the board and 1 on. Thanks to the error, first error of the game actually, out in center field, just a missed catch with the sun in the eyes of the center fielder Owens. We'll see how that affects today's action. Briar Cliff obviously used to that, is their center fielder, not Marty. Not so much. Obviously they've played at Briar Cliff before throughout the seasons, but even this year's games were held in Yankton. They have not been to this field since last season. Even Morningside, who hosted a lot of their home games this season at this field, Morningside, they played 2 in Yankton, and then the other 2 were here, so they did see this place a little bit, but they did lose both those games to Morningside. They have not won on this field this year.
So I have a stat for you that I was looking for earlier. As thrower first isn't there in time, but I was looking for it, and I have found it. Jalen Owens, we talked about how rare it is for a mistake at center field. It's his first error of the year.
Yeah. There's a reason why I continue talking about this guy as one of the best in the GPAC. That is exactly how hard it is to catch in center today. Beautiful blue skies, but that's actually bad news for the center fielder. Pop up over the head of the shortstop, Vance out to left field. That'll advance runners actually all the way to third. That's going to be a double in the books. Trujillo is on second, and all of a sudden, instead of there being 2 outs when he came up to bat, he's on second. That'll put Chronic on third, and Nico Saul comes up to bat with 2 on and 1 out. Mount Marty had a real chance there, but the error has now put them in a really tough situation. 2 on, 1 out, and they're in scoring position.
And the guy at the plate has the only argument to be a hotter bat than Aiden Chang right now. 462 average in the Concordia pod for him, 3 home runs, 7 RBI.
Swung at the first pitch and put it foul down the right field line, bounced off the right field fence where there's some fans lined up taking a look at this game. The nets only go as far as the dugouts here. Out in right field, a good place to have a glove if you're at the ball game.
Keep your head on a swivel, that's for sure.
Saul puts one backwards over our net, back toward the concession stand. I might have to hit up that concession stand a little later.
0-2 count here now for Jacob is a good opportunity for him to retire the most dangerous batter he's faced so far.
1 out on the board, it'd be a great time to do it. Just missed high on the 0-2 throw. It's going to be a 1-2 count. Saul stayed patient, didn't swing at that one.
That's another thing Jacobs has earned by being aggressive early on in the count and forcing foul balls. He doesn't have to give Saul anything in the zone. He can try to get him to chase, can try to dance around the corners.
Still got 2 pitches to give. 1-2 count. Runners on. Low throw here. I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to get Saul to chase here. Back-to-back throws. Away from the zone. 1 high, 1 low. After an 0-2 start. 2-2 count now with 1 out on the board for Saul. Runners on second and third. Chronic, 90 feet away. Grounder over to the second baseman. This is going to bring in a run. Throw to first. Briar Cliff leads 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Lancers do get Saul thrown out at first base, but Chronic will score.
No, the way Nico Saul's been swinging the bat, you almost take that. A ground out to the right side of the infield, scoring a run. But the power that guy's had this entire season, but especially in the GPAC tournament, you're fine as long as he doesn't send one 420 over the fence.
There are 2 outs on the board now, but that also did bring Trujillo over to third. He's now 90 feet away as we start the at-bat for Marquardt. Marquardt has a ball throw from Jacobs to get things rolling. 2 outs on the board, 1-0 count. This is the catcher for Briar Cliff. Found the zone that time, low and away, just caught it.
Marquardt went 4 for 16 in the GPAC pod at 3 RBIs for Briar Cliff. Wrong Sioux City, my bad.
One of the Sioux City teams. Both very good at baseball this year. Outside throw will miss here. 2-1 count for Jacobs, working on Marquardt, the catcher.
On the season as a whole, Marquardt is actually third on the team in batting average with 343 average, 512 slugging, and a 397 on base.
We're in the bottom of the first inning. Briarcliff just took a 1-0 lead, and now the count is 3-1 here after another missed throw. Marquardt trying to bring home the second batter of the day for Briarcliff. Lancers trying to finish off the inning. 2 outs on the board, a man on third for Briarcliff. 1-0 they lead. Grounder over to the pitcher. Handled clean from Jacobs. Was able to snag that. He'll throw to first, and that is number 3. Briarcliff leaves 1 on. Cronic, however, scores on the ground out from Nico Saul. 1-0. Briarcliff leads after 1. Back in 60 seconds. It's Mount Marty Lancer Baseball on KYNT.
That's you trying to fix the plumbing yourself to save a few bucks. Doing things yourself doesn't always end well. The same goes for insurance. That's why Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and offer discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance. Because sometimes you need a professional to get the job done right. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT and RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. Visit mtrcsmithinsurance.com.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care. Whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
1-0 Briarcliff leads after the first inning on KYNT. Nico Saul with a ground out over to second with runners on second and third. Brought in Jake Cronic, the 1 run of this game. Briarcliff start things off pretty well, Brayden.
Yeah, they got that a rare error. I say rare because it's the first one of the season by Jalen Owens out in center field that put Cronic on. So I guess the good news for Mount Marty in that inning is I don't believe that run is going to be earned by Palmer Jacobs. So the ERA doesn't get affected, but you'd rather have kept the bases clean. All that said, they battled back well. It was a dangerous situation with Saul coming to the plate, 2 on, 1 out. To be able to battle out of that with minimal damage, only giving up the 1 run, you'll be happy for that. Still plenty of ball game to be played to get that run and potentially more back.
For the Mount Marty Lancers, they saw 4 bats in the first inning, so we'll start it off with their 5th man, Shugo Kondo, who did have a home run in the GPAC tournament pod as well. Hit it in their second game on Thursday against Dome.
Kondo, the right fielder, had a .295 batting average this season.
He's got a 2-0 count starting things off against Hayes. 2 outside throws.
And he hit .273 in the pod with 3 RBI, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 home run as well.
2-0 pitch on the way for the senior out of Japan. Another outside. Oh, just caught the zone. Similar location, called strike 2-1.
You know, we're a little more centered here in this press box than we are back at Riverside, but still off-centered. So that outside part of the plate to right-handed hitters is going to be a little difficult for us to see.
Pop up in the infield this time from Kondo. Over to the second baseman. Can of corn, sky shot, and it comes down into the glove of Bryant, and that is 1 out.
I might came down with ice on it. I went through a cloud on its way up there.
Tyler Vance now coming up to bat. Shortstop filling in for the injured Joe Goki.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
I give you no Cokes.
good. I'm trying to quit.
Swing and miss at strike one there for Vance. But Vance, we can talk about a little bit, as he's had kind of a different journey to get into the starting lineup for the GPAC tournament, as he had some starts at shortstop early in the season. Goki was sitting over at second. Vance, who's going to put one way deep out into right field here, is going to be caught for the out, but give him credit of stepping up for the injured Joe Goki late in the season. He has been a steady defensive presence at short and a couple of timely hits. Flies out here, but I like what he's done so far.
Yeah, he's just one of those things where next man up mentality. I think Vance has done that well with the injury to Goki, who, regardless of the result today, I don't think we'll see again this season. But great player to step up with, so we'll see a lot of Tyler Vance. I guess good news here for Goki. We just see him on crutches initially after the injury. He is off those crutches, but does have a brace on his leg.
We've heard nothing officially. We can't give you anything for
I'm not a doctor
officially
anyway.
on that.
So I can't tell you anything officially, so I'm not a doctor.
All we're saying is, man, I cannot wait to see that guy in a jersey again, because he was having a really good season. Really good season for Joe Goki until that. And only a junior, so we get to see his senior year next year, so I will be looking forward to that.
He had some big moments as a sophomore, too.
Yeah.
Against Briar Cliff.
Against this team in the GPAC tournament last year, a walk-off win down in Seward. At the plate, we should tell you about Will Gardner, who's currently battling against Hayes. He's got a 2-1 count right at the moment. Seventh man in the order steps up with 2 outs on the board in the top of the second.
Gardner tied for the second most runs scored and also was tied for second in RBIs so far in the pod.
And he's going to put one out to center field, and it'll drop for the first base hit of the inning. Put it right between the second baseman and the center fielder. And he's on first. Gardner now up to bat.
Yeah, Gardner came into the day with just under 350 batting average. I know he had a really hot start to the year, might have cooled off a little bit, but with how he's been playing in the GPAC pod so far, and then with that base hit there, he's hitting over his season average so far since the start of the postseason play for the GPAC.
Mueller, first baseman for the Lancers. Lefty bat. Takes strike one looking on the first pitch here from Hayes.
241 batting average on the year for Milneric, but what he does really well is get on base. 458 on base percentage, thanks to 27 walks, the second most on the team.
He's got about half the at-bats of the number one guy in walks, too, in Bachman.
Yeah, Milneric at 83 at-bats on the year. Bachman, as you said, at about 160, so just a touch under half.
Yep.
Almost nailed that, Tehl. Congratulations.
Hey, I know what I'm doing.
There's a first.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. But we got a strike throw here. 1-2 count here for Milneric. 2 outs on the board. There is one man on. Gardner is on first. Milneric batting 8th in the order today. Jackson Nome, the DH, is on deck. 2 outs on the board once again. Briar Cliff trying to get their bats back up, and they're going to do it right here. First baseman lunges to his right on a line drive straight to him and is able to bring it into the glove before it ever touched the ground, instantly retiring the Lancers. Line drive caught by the first baseman, and that will do it for the top of the second. Back in 60 for Briar Cliff's bats, and Palmer Jacobs back after this.
At Elwood Family Dental Care, we treat our patients like family.
We have an experienced and extremely caring dental team. We take the time to make sure you understand your oral health and answer any questions you have about your dental treatments.
With an office located in the heart of Yankton at 1818 Broadway, we're centrally located for all patients in the area.
Whether you need fillings, crowns, or bridges, just a teeth cleaning, or even Botox.
Contact Elwood Family Dental Care today.
Slumberland Furniture is your local destination for top brands like Lazy Boy, Ashley, Flex Steel, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and more. Carrying a full range of mattresses and furniture for every room in your home, you'll find styles you'll love at values that make sense. From everyday essentials to name brand comfort, Slumberland offers the selection, and their service goes the extra mile. Visit Slumberland Furniture, 2401 Broadway in Yankton, where helping you create a comfortable home is what they do best.
Palmer Jacobs on the mound for the Mount Marty Lancers. 1 run scored in the first inning for Briar Cliff. Don't believe it went in the books as an earned run. Looks like it did not in the online stats, as there was a error for the Lancer outfield to get him on. It was a tough situation, but we'll see how the Lancers bounce back here. First bat up is Newbeck, the DH.
One thing to keep an eye on from the first inning, the Chargers made Jacobs work. He threw 26 pitches in the first inning.
Only silver lining for the Lancers is everybody's available today. As we talked about in the pregame interview with Coach Tycro, every single arm in the program is eligible to go today. The only one that maybe you'd think about a little bit is Jacob Walker, who started on Friday, but Coach Tycro even said that he talked about him going into this game, or talked to him and said he was pretty good to go. Over to left field, this one's hit pretty deep and drops. A single is going to be hit. A good recovery from the left fielder Gardner, who had to chase that one away from him, was able to get there in time to throw it to second. So not a double, but a leadoff single for Briar Cliff. That'll bring up Reamer now, the right fielder. Cam Reamer has had a good season as well coming into this ball game. He's had 10 at-bats through the tournament with 4 runs he's scored.
No, we talk about Briar Cliff, or we talk about Mount Marty being a top to bottom of the lineup, hitting very well. Well, here's Reamer coming in batting 7th, and he's a very good hitter as well for the Chargers.
A 1 pitch on the way for him. Another strike thrown, and it's an 0-2. Jacobs. Outside throw here. Trying to get him to chase in an 0-2 count. Reamer's got 1 on to lead off the inning. Lancers would love to get an out here instead of putting 2 on with no outs. They might get it. Flyer over to right field. It is going to come down just in foul territory, and they couldn't get there in time. Vonnegut, the second baseman, could not get underneath it. It dropped just outside of his extended glove.
Yeah, it would have been a sliding catch over there in the foul territory down the right field line. It's a tough run for Vonnegut.
Once again, looking into that sun as he was running. The sun here at Briar Cliff has been a factor so far. Not a cloud in the sky as we are underway here. Approaching 80 degrees on this Monday afternoon. And the sun is hanging right behind home plate, shining on the defense today.
Yeah, I got a real John Lennon situation. Here comes the sun. Not going to finish it. Not going to finish it.
I finished it. It's fine.
Nah, we don't need copyright.
You started it.
Fair enough.
Strikeout. Jacobs throws the K. We'll retire Reamer, and that'll bring up Schmid, the center fielder now. Ready to take his first at-bat of the GPAC Tournament Championship game.
Only had 2 hits in the pod, but he did connect for 3 RBIs. One of them being a double as well. Get you his season stats here momentarily after the opening pitch.
Ball throw to start it off here for Jacobs. Once again, redshirt sophomore to Rapid City, South Dakota. On the mound here for the Lancers, throwing the GPAC Championship game.
Former Post 22 hard hat.
Wearing a ball cap today for the Lancers. Grounder. Did not stay fair. Just over the third base. Called out by the official. Close play there. It was down the line that we are not on. So I didn't have a good angle at that, but called out.
I don't know if it's a good thing to admit, but I do have a bit of a blind spot to my left right now. Anything to the right of the shortstop, or as we are seeing it, to the left of the shortstop,
Yeah,
just going to hope.
We can tell you how we're sitting here. Each of us can see about half the field as we are sharing a small window that is right in between us, and we're leaning in together, rubbing shoulders the whole game. We're getting very comfortable with each other.
You being the play-by-play guy, I'm giving you a little more free reign of the booth. I just gotta have some analysis at the end of it.
1-2 pitch on the way.
Did mention Smid earlier, his GPAC pod stats. 233 batting average on the season, a 333 slugging, and on base of 273. Very good fielder on the year, 96% fielding percentage.
Just got a piece of that one to stay alive, looks like. On a 1-2 count, Schmid, center fielder, will take another one with 1 out and 1 on. Schmid, as you said, a pretty good season here for the Chargers, batting in the 8th spot. Foul ball once again. Had a couple RBIs during the GPAC tournament.
Now, on the season, he drove in 24 RBI total.
3 in this tournament so far. 1-2 pitch on the way with 1 out. And Newbeck, leadoff single to start off the game. High throw, just missed there for strike 3, 2-2 count.
Yeah, that did not miss by much. That was a tough take for any batter, so a good eye on that one.
Two pitch with 1 out on the board. Jacobs just struck out his last batter. He'll throw low here, make it a full count. Full count pitch on the way. Briarcliff working the starting pitcher for the Lancers very well, getting him up there in the pitch count early. Only 1 out in the 2nd inning, and he's up to 35 entering this at bat, I believe. Foul ball off the bat of Schmid. This is exactly what you want from your starting 9. You want to get the starting pitcher, the opposing team, up in that pitch count as quickly as possible, and it's exactly what they're doing.
Gives you guys a lot of time to get a feel for him as well, whether it's from the dugout or in the box itself. Get an idea of what exactly Jacobs throws, how he throws it, and maybe see if there's any tells in his game as well. No tanners, though.
Foul ball on the full count pitch. Jacobs, once again, this is the 2nd time he has seen this Briarcliff lineup this season. Got a win over him earlier. Allowed 1 run through 7 innings he threw. It was a 9-inning game. Mount Marty won 4-2 in that one. Allowed only 2 runs all game. Did the Lancers 1 through 7 innings by Jacobs. It was a good game. Full count pitch part 2 on the way. Swing and miss inside. Got the strikeout a few pitches later. 2 outs on the board. And that'll put us up to the 9-hole batter in Padilla, the shortstop. Lancers trying to finish off the 2nd inning. 1-0, Briarcliff does lead right at the moment over Mount Marty University in the bottom of the 2nd. That run came in the 1st.
Says Raynon Padilla coming to the plate. 48 games played this year, so we only missed 1 game for the Chargers all season long. .367 on the slugging percentage, a .273 batting average.
First pitch strike on the breaking ball here for Jacobs.
Good at getting on base as well. .456 on base percentage. 2nd highest on the team of anybody who played a majority of the games. So over 40 of their 49 games this season.
Grounder over the head of the pitcher. It popped up. Throw over to first base by the shortstop. That is out number 3. Tyler Vance, once again, defensively playing really, really well, stepping up for an injured teammate. This is Mount Marty Lancer baseball on KYNT. Lancers retire the Chargers, and they'll leave 1 on as we end the 2nd. 1-0, Briarcliff leads in the championship game.
They say tomorrow is always coming, but never arrives. It's always just beyond today. Not true when it comes to internet. Tomorrow's technology is already here. We'll need solutions that are even faster, smarter, and more secure. So let's go. Let's go to a place where Midco Internet connects you to all the possibilities of tomorrow. That's where we're going today. Midco. Let's go beyond.
Have a large group or event that you'd like to offer clothing for? JJ Benji's can make you look good. Instead of you taking orders, collecting money, and then delivering the clothing, let JJ Benji's handle it all. JJ Benji's will create an online store with the merchandise you want to offer. People order, pay, and then JJ Benji's will ship it. You just provide a link or QR code to the online store, and that's it. Contact JJ Benji's in Yankton for more information.
Back to start off the 3rd inning. Lancer bats incoming. Hayes once again on the mound for the Chargers. Putting up 2 zeros to start off the game. Lancers have their 9-hole bat now up in Jackson Nome, the DH. A lot of teams like starting an inning with their 9-hole batter. A lot of teams, the bottom of the order stereotypically, a lot of people, it's not very good bats. But the 9-hole, a lot of teams like putting a quality bat there. And that's what Jackson Nome is. DH and for the Lancers this season. They'd like to see their leadoff man get on before we go to the top of the order.
Almost it's become kind of a mindset for some teams to almost use it as a second leadoff hitter in theory. And Nome, hitting just under 300 on the season, has done exactly that, slugging at 410. 383 on base, too, so just under 400 on the on-base percentage as well.
1-1 pitch on the way for Nome. He's going to pop this one up high. Infield fly once again. It's going to come down in no man's land, however, and it is caught by the center fielder. He got there in time. Just a little too much on it for Nome. It was right in the middle of that no man's land in shallow center field where 3 different players were all trying to get there in time, but it was just hit so strong, it was so high that they had time to get there.
It was center fielder Smid coming out all the way out there and almost made contact with his 2 middle infielders, but it called him off there at the last second.
You know you got a hold of it really, really high when all 3 of them are able to get to that no man's land spot. You see those drop in that exact spot so often. Really got under that one. Chang now up. This is the leadoff hitter for the Lancers. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat here today. 0-1 pitch on the way.
Yeah, he's, as you mentioned, leadoff man for the Lancers, but he's officially 0 for 0 with that hit by pitch as well.
Ball throw on the next pitch for him. He's got a 1-1 count. His courtesy runner was left stranded as the Lancers ended that first. After Chang got on, Cannon Marshall, who ran the bags for him, was left on after 3 up, 3 down in the next 3 batters. Another pitch outside for Chang. He's got a 2-1 count. Chang, a guy who we were able to speak with a couple of times last week on KYNT.
Had me ready to run through a brick wall, but that's neither here nor there.
Inspirational guy for sure, as he takes another ball on the outside. 3-1 count. And not only a very good baseball player, a guy these coaches are very, very high on as a good character individual.
Yeah, Chang's one of those guys you talk to and realize, like, this is more than just a game you're playing with your buddies. It's a chance to go to battle with your friends every night.
3-1 pitch. Out towards left field. This one is driven deep, and it's going to drop. Chang has his first hit of the day now, and he's going to round first and take second. Throw in, going to be close, but he is there in time. Aiden Chang with a double for the Lancers. His hot streak continues. Got on base in the first plate appearance with an HBP, and now a double hit here. Marshall in scoring position with 1 out on the board. And that'll bring up Jalen Owens, who bunted in his first trip here. Was thrown out at first, but did advance runners.
We talk about Owens' speed on the base paths constantly, but his best ability is honestly just to get on those base paths in the first place, whether that's hitting or drawing a walk or what have you. 364 batting average for him on the season, 56 total hits, 4 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs, 25 RBI.
He's good at swinging the bat when he needs to, but one of his biggest strengths is actually bunting. He's able to advance runners very, very well, and he's just fast enough, the center fielder for the Lancers. He's fast enough to run out pitches the majority of the time, or throws to first the majority of the time. He's an all-around talent for the Lancers. 0-1 pitch on the way. Out towards right center, a lazy fly ball is going to be caught for the out. Marshall will stay on second.
He started to go, but was called off by a coach in the third base box.
And it was a good call.
It was a good throw out there from right field.
Bring up Ryan Bachman now. Similar situation to what we saw in this first inning. Bachman stepped up with a runner in scoring position at second. Did fly out. 2 outs on the board. Checked his swing. Should have went around. Strike thrown looking. Oh, 1 pitch on the way for the senior. Something to note for these Lancers today. Graduation day was Saturday for Mount Marty University. These seniors, congratulations to them. They have graduated college. 0-2
is the next pitch. 0-2 pitch on the way here for Bachman. Strike thrown.
And talking with a couple guys we know who go to Briarcliff here, Tehl, sounds like their graduation's this coming weekend. They still got finals and stuff to think about. So
it's that time of year. Well outside on the next pitch. Bachman has a 1-2 count. It's a special time of year for baseball because for one of these two teams today, they're going to win the GPAC championship and graduate college in the same week. That is a special week for whichever senior class wins this game. A week to remember in their lives for sure. Swing and miss at strike 3. Bachman is retired, and that is out number 3 in the top of the third inning. 1-0, Briarcliff keeps their slim advantage as we start the bottom of the third. Briarcliff bats incoming. Jacobs on the mound. Back in 60 seconds in KYNT.
Is it time for a new job? Aztec offers you the variety you seek. Aztec is now seeking employees for all shifts for the following positions: assemblers, painters, CNC machinists, and welders. Aztec offers competitive pay, 10 paid holidays, incredible 401k, paid partner leave, safety incentives, and a sign-on bonus for production workers. To apply for these jobs or see what others are available, go to aztecjobs.com. Aztec, built to connect from rock to road.
Try Runza's Lemonade Refreshers, powered by plant-based natural caffeine. And they come in 4 delicious flavors: pomegranate passion, mango mojo, prickly pear, and watermelon wild. Why do you keep doing that?
These refreshers are just so refreshing.
But you don't have to make that noise every time. Try Runza's Lemonade Refreshers. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Bottom of the third inning on KYNT. Also audio simulcasting to KYNT-V as well. Briarcliff leads Mount Marty in the GPAC championship game 1-0 as we start the bottom of the third. First pitch going to miss inside for Palmer Jacobs, starting this game for the Lancers as we go to the top of the order. Briarcliff's leadoff man, Bryant, taking pitches here.
We talked about it in the second inning, but here at the top of the third as well. Briarcliff making Jacobs work on the mound. Coming into this inning, had 47 innings pitched. That's just around 24, just under 24 per inning, 23 and a half per inning to start. It's a lot easier when you're dividing it by 2.
True. Out towards center field. This one's driven again. Owens handles the sun better this time, and he'll make the catch. Out number 1 in the leadoff man for Briarcliff. That'll bring up Cronick, who did score a run last time he was here. He was the one who had the pop-up to center field, and it dropped for an error. Got on base, and he scored the lone run of this game so far.
I don't know. I think he might have had him on in the first inning too, but Jalen Owens definitely has sunglasses on now in center field. I saw him glint a little bit as he was chasing that one down.
Even with the sunglasses, that sun, sometimes it just doesn't matter if you have the exact right positioning of the ball. And that one in the first inning was literally just straight up in the air, right coming out of the sun.
Sunglasses help with the sun, but they're not built to look directly at the sun.
Are you sure? I've been looking at the sun with them all the time.
That says a lot about you.
I'm kidding.
This explains so much.
0-2 pitch on the way after a swing and miss from Cronick. Trujillo is on deck, 1 out on the board. Just got a piece of that one, looks like, did Cronick. Just caught the top side of the ball, and it hit the plate right below him. 0-2 pitch on the way from Palmer Jacobs. Bryant led off with a line out, or a fly out. Cronick will take ball 1 here.
We've seen that a couple times, that kind of high away corner. Maybe a little closer than both Chang and Jacobs would want it to be. A little tighter than Chang's and Jacobs would like it to be, but it's been close.
Foul ball off the bat here. 1-2 the count. Cronick's hit a couple of fouls here. while down in the count, just battling, taking one ball so far. Palmer Jacobs, as you mentioned, he's getting up there in pitch count. Started this at-bat with 50. I believe that was the 5th or 6th pitch of this at-bat. 2-2. Ball on the outside.
I want to say it was the 5th, so he'd be at 55 now through 2 1/3.
Briarcliff's done a good job getting him up there in the pitch count. 2 1/3, you're already in the mid-50s. On the other end, through 3 complete, Hayes is only at 37. He'll be entering the 4th at 37. He's done very well.
I guess the silver lining of this from Mount Marty is they've talked about every arm is available. That includes a guy like Slater Watterson, who's traditionally a starter, if he's to go longer innings.
Going to get the strikeout there on the full count pitch, I believe. Both teams wanted their own call, and both had a good argument. Briarcliff thought it was too low. Chronic thought he had just gotten walked. Mount Marty happy with the strikeout, and that's 2 down in the inning. Out towards center field again. Owens getting underneath this one. Looks like he's figured out that glare out in the outfield, and that is 2 outs in the in the bottom of the 3rd for him, and that will do it for the 3rd inning. 1-0 your score after 3. Briarcliff on top of Mount Marty by 1. Back in 60 seconds.
Whether you're grilling with family and friends, hitting your favorite hiking trail, or catching a beautiful Midwest sunset, Good Boy Vodka ready-to-drink cocktails go wherever the good times are. With bold flavors like lime, black cherry, and cranberry, each can is just 95 calories, no sugar, and gluten-free. No mixers, no mess, just smooth refreshment in every sip. Grab a pack of Good Boy Vodka cocktails, because good days deserve a good drink.
I didn't know you did that. We hear that often. This is Matt Hansen with Hansen Briggs Advertising. Our slogan is, for all your printing and promotional needs. I emphasize all because we do apparel, pins, signs, printing, calendars, business cards, custom forms, banners, flyers, drinkware, bulk mailings, and much more. If you have a project, I'm sure Hansen Briggs can help. 1213 West 9th Street in Yankton, or online at hansenbriggsadvertising.com.
Let's go to the 4th inning now on KYNT. 3 innings are in the books. Let's take a quick look at these stats for each after 3. All brought to you by the Meat Lodge. If you want top quality meat at great prices, head to the Meat Lodge in Yankton on the way to the lake, Highway 52. Brayden, we've only seen 1 run. It was a Nico Saul sacrifice RBI that brought in Chronic in the bottom of the 1st inning. Outside of that, who's been getting hits for these teams?
So these stats are basically identical. 2 hits for both teams, 1 for Aiden Chang and 1 for Will Gardner for the Lancers, and then 1 for Trujillo and 1 for Newbeck for Briarcliff. The only difference right now is that run scored, and the whole reason Chronic was even on base was due to an error in the field. So it's been a pretty good, clean defensive game so far. Neither team's bats has been able to push it just yet. One thing to keep an eye on is Palmer Jacobs has thrown a lot of pitches, but also 4 strikeouts so far in this one compared to just 1 so far for Nick Mays.
Daniel Vonnegut at the plate to start off the 4th inning. He's got a 1-1 count here as we compare those pitchers now. Palmer Jacobs, as you just mentioned, a lot of pitches, but he still had an efficient day. 59 total pitches. He has allowed 1 run, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, and he's faced 12 batters. On the other end, Hayes has also faced 12 batters, 1 strikeout. He's allowed 2 hits as well, 37 pitches. Almost identical stats. The only difference is that 1 RBI for Briarcliff.
Yeah, it looks like the official ruling has changed from earlier. We mentioned that it didn't go down as an earned run early on. It has been changed to an earned run.
Out towards deep left field. This is off the glove of the left fielder. Both teams now have an outfield error. Vonnegut ran through it, as you should, and he ends up with a double out of it. So often you see teams forget their fundamentals. They see a ball flying high out straight to the glove of an outfielder, and they stop. He just went straight for it, took 2. It was great.
Tehl, you're not going to believe this. That center field error for Jalen Owens, his 1st of the season. That left field error for Jake Chronic, his 1st of the season.
Wow. And this is home stadium for Briar Cliff. That is just exactly how bad this sun is today. It is shining straight into the eyes of these outfielders. When we say it is coming directly from behind home plate, straight to the outfield, we're not joking. It is not a cloud in the sky. It is bright today.
Weird things happen at Briar Cliff, man. You gotta love it. That's GPAC baseball. Things happen. It's not things you can predict.
So both teams now have 2 hits and 1 error. We'll see if this leads to the Lancers' first run. Now with no outs, they have 1 on. Vonnegut leading off a second. Now Marty has a very good opportunity here. A 1 base hit in the next potentially 3 batters could tie up the game.
Loud reaction from the crowd on that one. It looked like that was really close to the outside part of the plate, but it's called a ball to Shugo Kondo.
One pitch on the way. Swing and miss, went low for that one. Nasty breaking ball just dropped late in the throw.
You could tell it had Kondo in knots too. He picked up his back foot and almost like slipped it behind him. That pitch ate him up. That was a great one there from Hayes.
1-2 pitch, Vonnegut leading off a second. Kondo at the plate. Lancers trying to tie up the ball game. Grounder right out to right field, and this might do it. They're going to send the runner. Vonnegut rounds third, going home. The throw is cut off. Lancers tie up the ball game at 1 apiece in the top of the 4th inning. Both teams, 1 error, and it leads to a run each.
It's a pretty big gap to the right side of the infield. I think I didn't pick it up before the swing there, but Briar Cliff might have had a bit of a shift on, moving their guys more to the left side. That's where Shugo Kondo traditionally can pull it to that side of the infield. And it didn't work out for him there. That's great situational hitting from Kondo. Hit it where they ain't. And for the terms of this breakdown, ain't is a word.
I agree. I will never argue against that. Pretty sure it's in the dictionary. Vance gonna bunt here. Nope, with 1 on, Kondo advances to second, and Vance did not beat out the throw. First baseman, I thought he bobbled it for a second, which allowed Vance to get there. They got it clean is the ruling, and Vance will be out at first. Kondo will advance to second, and there's 1 out on the board with the Lancers in a 1-1 game. That'll bring up Will Gardner now, and instead of trying to tie it, now Marty's got a chance to take a lead here.
I loved the first base umpire on that call. He was obviously making sure that everything was correctly, and there's just a very nonchalant out call. Everybody's like bated breath waiting for the call. Just, yeah, he's gone.
Gardner, the lefty, takes a foul ball on the first pitch. Oh, 1 count incoming for the senior. Once again, graduation just happened for these Lancers. These guys actually just graduated college. A weekend they'll remember for a long time, obviously winning their own pod at home on Friday in 3 straight games. Now a chance to win their first GPAC championship of their careers. Grounder over to the second baseman, underhand throw to first. Gardner will advance Kondo over to third, but he is thrown out at first in the 4-3. 2 outs on the board. Mueller steps up to bat. This is the 8th batter in the order.
Big spot here for Mueller. Only a sophomore out of Bennington, Nebraska. So an underclass guy, a rare underclassman that plays. He splits time with the other one in Lucas Kampshoff, but big moment for him. Potentially could take the lead in the GPAC championship.
We've talked at length about how this guy can draw walks, but he really needs a hit here with 2 outs, the lefty swinging. If he can put one in play, the Lancers will take the lead. Foul ball off the bat here. 1-1 count after the foul.
Talk about it all season long. Milneric's big thing that he brings to the batter's box is a great eye. Been able to draw a lot of walks. Could also force pitchers to throw a lot of pitches to him, and that could be another way to easily run up a pitch count.
Outside throw this time, 2-1 count for Mueller. Only a sophomore, getting a lot of playing time here. One of only 2 underclassmen to get an extended period of time at the plate alongside Lucas Kampshoff. The 2 of those splitting time at first base throughout the season. Mueller getting the start here today, and he's going to put up a high fly ball, towering ball into shallow right, and it is caught for out number 3. Mount Marty ties up the game in the top of the fourth. 1-1 is your score. It's a Shugo Kondo RBI. Back for the bottom of the fourth in 60 seconds. Tie game at 1 apiece.
Your operation never stops. You work early mornings, late evenings, weekends, and holidays. At H&R Block of Yankton, we understand the demands of agriculture. That's why we're here to handle the numbers, every expense, every deduction, so you can focus on growing what matters. From tax prep to full bookkeeping, H&R Block of Yankton is rooted in helping agricultural businesses thrive. So leave the numbers to us. Contact locally owned H&R Block of Yankton at 605-665-3366 for less stress and more success.
If it's time to review the look of the signage at your business, let Mayor Signs help. They offer all types of signs, including lit, non-lit, digital, and much more. They also do logo creation and vehicle wraps. Their technicians arrive on site fully equipped to get the installation done with quality workmanship. With the latest tools and technology, Mayor Signs provides high-quality installation service for any sign. Contact Mayor Signs today on 4th and Broadway in Yankton.
Bottom of the fourth inning and now on KYNT. Ball game tied at 1 apiece. Nico Saul, that dangerous hitter, leading off the inning for Briar Cliff. He's batting cleanup, fourth in the order. He'll lead off the bottom of the fourth inning. Both teams once again tied at 1 apiece. Foul ball here, 1-1 count to start things off for him. Palmer Jacobs once again on the mound. A very efficient day so far. The only drawback is he's thrown a lot of pitches. He's over 60 now, had 59 entering the bottom of the fourth inning. And once you start getting up there, he's maybe only got a couple innings left, and the Lancers got to start looking to a new arm. And we've got a second straight leadoff hit for Briar Cliff. Grounder right between second and short, out towards center field. Will put Saul on first. And Briar Cliff's got a leadoff man on for the second straight inning once again. Last inning, they left him there.
Is it the display of power that people have come to expect from Nico Saul here in the between the pods and now here at the GPAC tournament in general? But great hit, put it right past the second baseman Vonnegut into center field. It's a great way to lead off an inning. Once again, recognizing the situation he's in.
First pitch strike in the next at bat for Palmer Jacobs is Marquardt, the catcher. Who did get out in his first trip up here in the first. That ended the first. Outside throw this time. Make it a 1-1.
And Chang did a good job trying to frame that one behind the plate too, but just a little too far outside.
Strike thrown again. 1-2. Jacobs once again having a good day. The only drawback, he's getting up in the pitch count, so he's probably not going to go as long as maybe the Lancers would like, because obviously they'd like him to throw a full game, which he has done before. Through 7 complete against Briar Cliff in the first meeting, allowed 1 run through 7 innings. Two-two pitch on the way here for Marquardt.
Yeah, big at-bat here for both pitcher and catcher. Officially getting into the middle innings. This is where you're going to see who can outlast the other one.
Grounder straight to the second baseman. Lancers trying to go for the double play. Throw to first. Well short was that throw over to first base. It was a great run by Marquardt. Lancers do get the man at second, but they can't turn 2. That is a fast man in the catcher, Marquardt, because I thought the Lancers had that in plenty of time, but by the time I got my head around and looked at first base, he had been there already 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, and not even just the speed of Marquardt, not to take away from the speed of Marquardt, but the middle infield playing deep as well for the Lancers right now. Second baseman Vonnegut is in the outfield grass, and it looks like Vance at shortstop has his heels in the grass as well.
Grounder took an extra second to get to him and led to the base hit, but fielder's choice Basically the same situation. One at first with one out now. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Throw over to first. Not going to pick the man off. They do have a double bag in Briar Cliff at first base, by the way, which I'm always a fan of.
Safety reasons, I like it.
Exactly.
All that to say about that, the fielder's choice where Marquardt reached first, even if they were playing close, it'd be a tough play to get him at first. He was flying.
He was flying. He was fast. And it'll be Caleb St. Cyr into courtesy run for the catcher. He's on first now. They've been throwing at him a couple of times. Swing and miss for the first strike of this at-bat. Now a 1-1 count for Newbeck, the DH.
I was trying to get a read on that number, Tehl. The way it was folded up, I couldn't tell if it was 23 or 25. Looking at it, 25, is Owen Lester, a right-handed pitcher. So I doubt they're pinch running him, but you never know.
Hey, man, maybe they're trying to get the seniors a little bit of stolen bases here. You never know. But we do know, actually. It's Caleb St. Cyr, who was a junior.
Tell you, man, the folds of the jerseys and my eyesight being less than spectacular.
You know, for a broadcaster, you talk about your poor vision a lot.
Yeah, I have a poor vision and a stutter that comes out every now and then, and I'm a broadcaster.
Out towards right field. If it stays fair, this is going to lead to maybe a run. It did not. I said it was going to lead to a run because it was one of those where it was just deep and away from that right fielder. It was going to, if that hit the line, it was going to hit and start rolling. Kondo was going to have to chase it a mile, and that first baseman, or the runner on first, had a heavy jump. That might have been 2 or 3 bags.
Yeah, that would have rolled all the way to the corner if it was fair.
The corner's a little more shallow in toward the fences here at Briar Cliff than they are at Mount Marty's home stadium. Once again, 402 to center field, 317 to the left field fence, 322 to the right field fence.
I think center field's deeper here than it is at Riverside, but the corners are closer here.
Grounder to second again, throw over to first this time. Vonnegut was a little off balance as he had to lunge to his left to grab that grounder. Wasn't able to turn the double play, but he does get the runner out at first. Now there's 2 outs on the board with a runner on second for Briar Cliff.
It's back-to-back outs that have been recorded by Daniel Vonnegut here in the inning. I bet Briar Cliff's new directive is let's hit it away from the second baseman. He's been covering up everything on the right side of the infield. Okay, I'll be attributed to why he's playing so deep. There's a lot of hard shots in the infield on the right side.
Swing and miss at the first pitch here. For Reamer, this is the right fielder. He was struck out by Jacobs first trip up to the plate. Now his second appearance coming in the bottom of the 4th. Once again, tie game at 1-1. Base hit here could break that tie. Briar Cliff could take a lead with a runner on second.
It's one of 4 strikeouts so far in this one for Jacobs, and I believe both of them came like back-to-back in pairs. Bryant and Chronic struck out back-to-back, and then Reamer and the man on deck, Smid, both struck out back-to-back.
Wild pitch gets by Chang here. That's going to advance the runner from second to third, but there is still 2 outs. Jacobs could still finish off this inning and leave him stranded, but that makes it a little easier now for Reamer. If he gets a hit, that'll break the tie.
Yeah, the go-ahead run only being 90 feet away changes. I don't want to say it changes a lot for the pitcher's approach because they still get the out, you're out of the inning, but it does change the batter's approach. He doesn't have to send one to a gap somewhere. He can just get weak contact, and as long as he's able to reach first base.
Foul ball off the bat here. We'll do it again. 2-2 count. Two-two pitch with 2 outs on the board. Grounder right between short and third, and that is the second run of the game for Briar Cliff. They'll take a lead at 2-1. RBI from Reamer, the right fielder. He'll bring in St. Cyr, who was courtesy running for the catcher, Marquardt.
Walking up to Mac Mueller does bring me some joy. But that was a great placed hit for Briar Cliff.
Schmid, grounder over to the first baseman. Milnerick will just run it back to the bag himself, and that is out number 3. It's actually the second time in this game the Lancers get out number 3 directly after a run. 2-1, Briar Cliff now leads over Mount Marty after 4. Down by 1 as we go to the 5th. Back in 60 seconds. More Lancer baseball on KYNT.
Buying a home isn't just about real estate. It's about investing in yourself. At the Move Group, we believe the best time to buy is when it makes sense for you. Our expert agents put people before transactions, meaning we listen first, provide honest guidance, and help you make a confident decision. No pressure, no gimmicks. Markets change, but the right home is about more than just numbers. It's about finding the right fit for your life and your future. When you're ready, we're here to help. Contact the Move Group today.
KYNT, Yankton, FM 1021, and AM 1450.
2-1 the score of this game. Briar Cliff on top of Mount Marty by 1. Just saw the second run of the game. Cam Reamer with a single. St. Cyr was brought in, courtesy running for the catcher, Marquardt, after he got on base.
You know, Tehl, off topic here. Whoever's been in charge of the playlist today has done really good between innings.
You'll have to pay him compliments. I think he's sitting in the booth next to us.
It's got me moving and grooving to some Nelly right now as we wait for the Lancers to step back into the batter's box. I believe it's Jackson Nome leading things off.
There's been some Nelly, as you mentioned. Some of the leadoff guys, or some of the hitters have had some good walk-up songs too with some Mac Miller. Randomly, they played back-to-back Taylor Swift as well in between innings, which was interesting. A little bit of reputation going on. Still waiting for the TV, but you know. Jackson Nome leadoff. Pop fly, and it will not stay in the ballpark. Foul.
Now, we kind of talked about it off air, Tehl, and you didn't really have an answer for it, but if you had to have a walk-up song here in the booth, what do you think it'd be?
Dude, I've said this a couple times, and I'll give you the same answer I told you right before we got off the mic. I'd be one of those guys who changes it up every week because there's just so many good ones. There's so many songs I would use. I literally would be a guy who changes it all the time.
I would go Lupe Fiasco and Matthew Santos, Superstar, but then I have to back it up because I can't have a song called Superstar hitting 180.
If I hit 180, I'd be very happy.
That'd be 180 better than what I could hit.
1-0 is the count. Start things off or 1-1 should be after the foul for Jackson Nome. Another ball throw here. 2-1 count.
Wrapping up the walk-up song comments here, Tehl. We'll get back to actual baseball, but Yankton Preston Dakotan's Alex Kopp plays amateur ball over in Irene. Helped him pick out his walk-up song. Little Marvin Gaye, Ain't No Mountain High.
That's a great one. Swing and miss at strike 2 there for Jackson Nome. He's got a 2-2 count right at the moment. 2-2 count for the senior out of Lake Norden. Going to be a nurse, just graduated with that on Saturday. Planning to stay in Yankton too, work at Avera.
Very good nursing program at Mount Marty.
He'll strike out here, back-to-back pitches with a strike delivered from Hayes. Let's take a look at Hayes' stats so far in this game as he gets a leadoff strikeout to start the 5th.
Yeah, as they update here officially after that strikeout, 4 1/3 innings for Hayes, 57 pitches, 3 hits, 1 run. It was unearned, and 2 strikeouts.
Aiden Chang now back up. First pitch strike. Looking. Chang checked his swing. Asked the official where it was afterwards. Wanted getting a feel for the zone and his 3rd at bat. Looks like he went around there, and they're going to say he did. Didn't quite check it in time. Now Chang in an 0-2 hole. Chang's had an interesting couple of at-bats today. His first trip to the plate was hit by pitch to get on. His second at-bat, he hit a double.
Choked up on the bat here, too, in an 0-2.
And he's going to put another one on here. As he said, choked up, got some control. Little grounder right between second and short. He'll go on first. Kenna Marshall will come in to run the bags for him.
I know I've said it often tonight, but that's, again, just what this Lancer team is really good at, understanding the situation they're in at the plate. You know, 0-0 count, you got some runners on. Maybe you'll see guys, you know, loosen the grip a little bit, swing more from the heels, try to send something out there. But a situation like that, You already got one out in the inning. You don't want to put your team down 2 outs with nobody on. Just choke up on the bat a little bit, put something in play, get a base runner.
Owens now up to bat. Talk about Lancers ready and prepared for the moment. A well-coached team by a man who has won the GPAC championship in the past. Coach Josh Tykrow, pitcher for the Lancers, was on the team throw-in last time the Lancers won the championship in 2012. Mount Marty's looking for their third this season. Briar once again looking for their first ever. It's been over a decade for Mount Marty. Briar never won it. Both teams hungry. Strike thrown there for Owens. He's got an 0-2 count as well. This is where Chang was when he hit that single just a second ago.
And we'll see how Owens doesn't really adjust his grip on the bat at all, but he's not really a guy that swings from his heels as is.
Outside throw. 1-2 count for Jalen Owens.
It's not to say Owens doesn't have power. He got 2 home runs on the season. Just more of his mentality is put it in play, beat it out if it's in the infield, look for something extra if you find a gap.
He's going to put a little something extra on it. He got it out towards center field, and that'll advance the runner to second. Throw in before he can go anywhere, but Owens is on first. Good hit for him right there, and the Lancers have back-to-back hits pretty much right over the top of the second base, in between the second baseman and the shortstop. And 2 on with 1 out as we welcome back Ryan Bachman to the plate.
Back-to-back 2-strike singles as well for the Lancers, so they're getting down in the count and still keeping their calm and putting their guys around. And it's the first real trouble we've seen Hayes in outside of that error that eventually led to a run earlier.
Both teams starting to settle in here. We're in the top of the 5th. We are in the third go-around in the order for the Lancers. Third trip through. This is the third man in the order in Bachman, who just took a ball on the first pitch from Hayes.
And a good part of the order up here with 1 out, with Bachman, Vonnegut on deck, and then Kondo in the hole.
1-0 pitch. Got the zone there. Bachman took right down the middle. 1-1 count. Hayes checks the man on second, now fires. Bachman's going to put it out into shallow center field, and it's going to... Did he catch that? Center fielder dove for it, made the catch. Somehow, that was an inch away from probably being another run for the Lancers to tie up this game. Vonnegut now steps up. Bachman just flew out on a great play from the center fielder.
Yeah, huge catch out there for Schmidt, and it's great run after that ball. These are 2 center fielders today between him and Jalen Owens, who could cover a lot of ground out there in the outfield, and Schmidt's showing it there. Heads up base running by a Cannon Marshall. He was watching the center fielder the whole way. If that was out of the glove, he's taken off, and depending on how the other outfielders react, he could have went all the way home. But Schmidt says no worries, he's got it handled.
Cannon Marshall has been out here running the bags 3 separate times now as the courtesy runner for Chang. Lancers have left him on all 3 times, or all two times so far, in danger of doing it a 3rd time with 2 outs on the board. Vonnegut trying to change that here, tie up the ball game. High infield fly, shortstop with just a step into the outfield will make it, and they will leave Marshall on for the 3rd straight time. 2-1 is your score as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Briar by 1. Back in 60 seconds, it's Lancer Baseball on KYT.
You want peace of mind that you're healthy. Support your breast health by getting a mammogram every year starting at age 40. Multiple Avera Breast Center locations across the region offer easy access. We'll create a screening plan that makes sense for you. You have access to specialized breast cancer experts should you need it. Find a screening location near you at avera.org/breast.
Hard Mountain Dew, the dew you love with a kick of 5% alcohol. It's a new flavored malt beverage available in 4 bold flavors, including Mountain Dew, Baja Blast, Livewire, and Watermelon. Mountain Dew lovers of legal drinking age can experience the bold citrus flavors of the soft drink they know and love with 5% alcohol, 0 caffeine, and no added sugar. Experience hard flavors like Original Mountain Dew, Live Wire, Baja Blast, Watermelon, or Baja Blast Pineapple, Punch, and Mango flavors. Get your Dew today.
Padilla, the 9-hole batter, in the shortstop for the Briar Cliff Chargers, up to bat first in the bottom of the fifth. 2-1, Briar Cliff leads over Mount Marty. Both teams put on 1 run in the fourth. Lancers leave a man on in the top of the fifth. Briar Cliff now ready to start off the bottom of the inning. Palmer Jacobs, first pitch here will be number 80 of the ball game. Here is 80 for Jacobs, starting pitcher, and it's first pitch strike.
With that as well, Tehl, I should mention I do see somebody warming up in the bullpen. I say somebody because it's behind the right field fence, and there's a blue screen over it, so all I can see is the outline of guys stretching out.
And a leadoff single for the third straight inning, I believe, for Briar Cliff. They're going to get a man on. A nice hit right over the top of the pitcher's head, over second base, and dropping before it got to the shortstop. And that'll take us back to the top of the order. Briar Cliff got exactly what you want from your 9-hole. Got on, and now it's Bryant stepping up their leadoff man with 1 on and no outs. And once again, as you said, somebody warming up in the pen for Palmer Jacobs. Not necessarily because he's had a rough day, only 2 runs allowed through the first 4 innings, but more because his pitch count is now in the 80s. Short bunt, Jacobs handles, throw to first. They've got him out, but that does advance a runner over to second. 2-1 is the score. Briar Cliff has a man now in scoring position with 1 out on the board. Now Jake Cronick batting.
Something to keep an eye on as well. I don't know who's warming up or started to warm up, but I do know someone who just ran out there. Don't know if it's to deliver a message or not, but Garrett Simpson I just saw run back and forth from the dugout of the bullpen.
One of the eligible arms they like to use in relief. Bottom of the 5th inning. We're only about midway through here. A lot of baseball left to be played here. And once again, Jacobs has had a good day, but the pitch count's starting to get up there, so eyes will start drifting to that right field line where the bullpen is after nearly every at-bat, especially after leadoff singles. Jacobs has had a good day and a good season so far, nonetheless. Once again, only 2 runs on the day. Gave up only 1 run against Briar Cliff earlier in the season through 7 innings. 1-1 pitch on the way for Cronick. Foul ball here. We'll tell you who that next man up. Normally we're able to see who it is and talk about him, but as Brayden said, they're different spot than we have them here in Yankton where we can kind of see the bullpens. You can't see the bullpens here in Sioux City.
Yeah, but I think I could see enough to see that number, Tehl. It's a 1-1.
We'll talk about that guy in just a moment. Foul ball off the bat once again. We'll finish the at-bat of Cronick, but that 1-1, number 11, Slater Watterson. It's kind of a 1A, 1B situation in starters for the Lancers, and Palmer Jacobs and Slater Watterson. Wouldn't have been surprised with either one of them starting this game, and with Jacobs being up there in the pitch count already in the 5th, you have a lot of baseball left to play. Not a bad idea to maybe throw your second-best arm at Watterson.
A guy that can very clearly go 3-4 innings if he needs to.
He's thrown complete games this year. 2-2 count. He's warming up in the pen. Jacobs trying to keep him there for the moment, however. Pitch count in the 80s. He's got a runner on second. Jacobs would certainly like to finish off this 5th. Outside throw here. He's working on Jake Cronick. Only bad thing for Jacobs, he's getting later into the game and he's got the top of the order. Cronick is their second man up. Bryant, he just got out at first off a bunt. Cronick now up. Trujillo up next.
You got very dangerous hitters behind him. You mentioned Trujillo and then Nico Saul after that.
High fly ball to right field. Shugo Kondo will bring it in, and that is out number 2. After just a moment ago, Bryant bunted to advance the runner over to second, and then the fly out to right. Back-to-back outs, and that'll bring up to Trujillo with 2 outs on the board. See if Jacobs can finish this day strong. He's got 89 pitches so far. Next pitch will be number 90.
Do you have a mound visit here? Head coach Josh Tyker wants to come out and talk to Jacobs here. Let's see if it's just to calm him down and say, hey, this might be it for you. Just pitch this guy out, get him out of here. Let's go to the next inning, and your day's done. He pitched very well.
Probably exactly what it is. Just saying, hey, this is it. This is probably your last batter.
get him out, finish this day strong right here. Once again, Briarcliff does have a man leading off a second. That is their shortstop and their 9th batter in the order, Padilla. Padilla just got his first hit of the game on Palmer Jacobs. His second of the tournament, only 2, but he does have 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored as well. He's been walked 5 times. Now we bring up the 3rd man in the order, Trujillo, 3rd baseman, who does have a hit today, was left on.
Trujillo had a great season for the Chargers all year long. Led the team in batting average of .376.
First pitch strike delivered for Jacobs. 0-1 count starting things off. Nico Saul is on deck.
Big number to look at right now, Tehl, is 93. That is the combined RBI between Diego Trujillo at the plate and Nico Saul on deck with the runner in second.
Wow. Strike 2, just got a piece of that one swinging. I think that might have hit the hand of the batter as he went through there for Trujillo. He's shaking off that left.
The very least, that was low on the barrel. Felt the vibrations in the hand for sure.
Yeah.
If not, as you mentioned, maybe getting a piece of the bat and then off the hand.
Real close. Either way, 0-2 count. He's in a hole right now. Grounder over to the second baseman. Fielded clean by Vonnegut. Throw over to first, and it's mishandled at first base, but throw to home, and they're not going to get the tag. No, he jumped over the plate. He jumped over the plate. Aiden Chang is able to chase him down. The base runner jumped over the catcher and the plate. Chang was able to run him down and get the tag.
Yeah, that's a Superman effort from Raynon Padilla there, up and over the catcher Chang, but just went too far over the plate, and that effort might have caused injury. He's down behind the plate. Hopefully he's okay.
He's pointing to his left knee.
You never want to see someone get hurt off of that. Heads up play by Chang to realize the situation and apply the tag to him, but a just wild turn of events there. This ends the inning unblemished for Palmer Jacobs.
Looks like the officials are talking about this one here because Briarcliff, I think they're arguing that maybe he did touch it. I thought he was well over after the jump from my angle, but obviously they want to discuss it, are the officials. However, I will tell you, Palmer Jacobs just walked back out after they had already left the field. He was starting to walk back out, and the officials waved him off, said, no, go back to your dugout. Briarcliff is still standing on the field, however. Mount Marty is standing down the third base line, or first base line. We're all waiting for the official call here of what everybody saw.
This could be a situation, too, where if they ruled Chang blocked too much at the plate, well, it doesn't matter. They call him out now. As soon as I'm trying to get into an explanation. Thanks, guys. But yeah, they call him out. It's official. But I was trying to say is maybe if they rule it was interference with the catcher, because if you stand on top of the plate, basically, and say he gave him no way to get to the plate, it could have been a reverse decision.
Well, where Chang was, he was a foot or two ahead of the plate down the third base line, going obviously towards the batter, and that was why we called it a Superman effort from Padilla, jumping both the catcher and the bag. Unfortunately, just a little too far, and he wasn't able to get back to the bag, as it looked like he might have hurt his knee a little bit, so he wasn't able to quickly jump up and get to the base to get the touch. But either way, heads up play from the catcher for the Lancers, and Aiden Chang, who was quick enough to recover and go get that out. Lancers do not allow a run in the bottom of this fifth inning. As long as we've taken time to talk here, I think we're just going to keep this one here because the sixth inning is just about to start. Lancer bats up in just a moment. I think we're going to see Shugo Kondo first, the right fielder who has a hit and the lone RBI on the day for the Mount Marty Lancers.
And that's a good part of the order coming up there with Kondo leading things off. Talk about Kondo a lot, but on the season he came in with a .295 batting average for the Lancers. Had 75 total bases, was slugging at .568, including 8 home runs, which was tied for third most on the team with Daniel Vonnegut.
And we'll start off this sixth inning now on KYNT. You're listening to 102.1 FM, AM 1450. It's Mount Marty Lancer baseball in the GPAC Tournament Championship game. Alongside Brayden Butler, I'm Tehl Tanner. It's still Hayes out there throwing for Briarcliff, who's had a very good day. 69 pitches exactly coming into the sixth inning now. First pitch low and away for ball one. He's allowed 5 hits, but only 1 run, with 2 strikeouts through the 22 batters he has faced. Yes, Briarcliff leads 2-1.
He has thrown very, very well. And we kind of talked about maybe that was Palmer Jacobs' last batter there, and that's what Coach Tyko was talking to him about before the end of that inning. So if it is his last batter, 5 innings pitched on 92 pitches, 5 hits, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts. We'll see if he might come out, but with 92 pitches against him, that might just be curtains for Jacobs on a good outing.
1-1 pitch. Ball. 2-1. Leadoff man of the inning, Shugo Kondo. Hayes has thrown the full way so far. We're in the 6th once again in this 9-inning game. Both teams have exactly 5 hits. 2-1 your score. Kondo, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 RBIs through the tournament. Game 4 for the Mount Marty Lancers. Grounder right over the top of the mound, over the top of second base and out towards center field. Leadoff man is on for Mount Marty University. Kondo will take first. That'll bring up Tyler Vance, the shortstop for the Lancers.
Number 12, Tyler Vance.
Vance has 4 runs, 2 hits, and an RBI in the tournament so far. Entering today. 0 for 2 to start. Third at bat here today. Showing bunt, throw over to first base, not going to get the tag. Shugo Kondo is able to get back on. Closer than the Lancers would have liked it to be. Got there in time.
It's been a real evenly contested game. 2 errors against the Lancers, 1 error against the Chargers, but back and forth.
Out towards right field, this one is driven deep and right into the glove of the right fielder. Vance will fly out to right again. That'll bring up Will Gardner, the left fielder for the Lancers, batting 7th. He's got 1 hit here today. 1 out on the board and a man on for the Lancers. 2-1, Briarcliff leads.
Gardner was tied for the team high in RBIs on the regular season with 46. Him and Bachman both had 46.
Grounder right to the second baseman. Not fielded cleanly. Throw to first. Gardner's got a chance here. Out is the call. Just couldn't beat it out. Good recovery from the second baseman in order to get a hold of that for the second out.
The only bright side there for the Lancers is that bobble meant no double play opportunity. So you got a runner in scoring position and you still got batters on.
Eric, that first baseman, taking his 3rd trip to the plate with Shugo Kondo in scoring position. But once again, he's batting with 2 outs. Last time he was here, he got out. This time, however, he's going to get a base hit, and it'll lead to a tie ball game. Kondo comes home from second. Molnaric will get a single and his first RBI of the GPAC championship game. 2-2, we're tied up in the 6th.
Clutch hit for the sophomore from Bennington, Nebraska right there. Came up with no fear, sends it right back up the middle. A little shallow, a little late fade on that one as it kicked to left center field and was able to bring Kondo all the way around from second. And looked like Molnaric was going to take off for second as well after the throw had a little bit of a long journey getting back in, to say the least.
Winds blowing right to left here today. Lazy winds, about 10 miles an hour, but just enough to carry it away from that center fielder as it was moving left. As you said, broke away late. We're going to have a mound visit now here for Briarcliff in the middle of the at-bat for Jackson Nome. 1 ball was thrown here by Hayes, whose pitch count, I believe, just hit 79 on that first pitch. Not sure if they're going to finish the day. Doesn't look like it. Hayes will stay out. Just a mound visit from the head coach of the Briarcliff Chargers and Corby McLaughlin.
This could be a similar situation to just what we saw with Coach Tycro and Palmer Jacobs on the mound of, hey, just get this batter out. Your day's probably going to be done after this one. Just focus on this guy. Give this guy everything you had. Don't save yourself for more. There isn't going to be more.
So we'll return to the at-bat now. 1-0 is the count. Hayes starting to get in similar situations we just talked about with Palmer Jacobs. As you know, you're getting up in your pitch count here. It's late in the game. His time out here is limited. He'll probably have a few more batters, and obviously 2 outs on the board, a chance to finish this inning. But with a run just given up and starting to get up there in the pitch count, you got to wonder if Briarcliff might make a change if Jackson Nome can get something here. And he might just. Puts it out into deep left center field. This is back to the fence, and it bounces into the fence off a one-hop. Milnerick going to stay at third. Nome has a double. So the Lancers now have 2 on with 2 outs. Runners on second and third. We'll see if Briarcliff makes a change here. Right after a mound visit, Nome hits a double, and we go to the top of the order. Aiden Chang, who's 2 for 2 in at-bats with an HBP in there, and the hottest bat in maybe the conference is now stepping up to the plate. And they intentionally walk him. This is a mistake we saw on Friday against Morningside. They did not intentionally walk Chang, and he hit a 2-run bomb in the bottom of the 8th in order to give the Lancers the win. That is a smart move there. But now you got to deal with Jalen Owens, who is batting well in his own right. Owens, once again, on the season batting .364. Base hit would give the Lancers their first lead of this game. 2-2, your score is tied. Bases loaded. Top of the 6th, 2 outs on the board. Owens takes his first pitch, and he's going to get a hold of it. Grounder to the shortstop, throw over to the third baseman. Nome can't slide there in time. That is out number 3. They leave Hayes out there, and he is able to get the out with the bases loaded. 2-2, your score stands as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning on KYNT. 102.1 FM, AM 1450, back in 60.
Hey, son, can you hand me that vice grip? As any farmer or rancher knows, having the right tools in the toolbox is important. That goes for your ag lending as well. If you're considering expansion, restructuring debt, or purchasing equipment, call Dakota Mac. We have a toolbox full of lending solutions to help you with your ag financing needs.
Hi, it's Jeff Wolfgram from Dakota Mac. Call us at 800-682-4578 to learn how Dakota Mac products can work for you.
You pay what we pay with Ford's From America, For America employee pricing event now through June 2nd at Lewis and Clark Ford. Get employee prices which are below invoice on most new Ford vehicles. Plus, employee pricing is in addition to any other discounts or incentives available. We're proud to be an American company, and we're saying thanks, America, with employee pricing. See our new Ford selection at Lewis and Clark Ford, 4th and Capitol Yankton, or online at lewisandclarkford.com.
Slater Watterson on the mound for the Mount Marty Lancers. As we start the bottom of the 6th, we saw him warming up in the pen, and now Slater Watterson, a usual starter for the Lancers, but once again, season's on the line here. You throw out your best arms, and with 4 innings left to play, this is not a bad time to throw out one of your starters who is actually going to be making his 3rd appearance on the season as a reliever. They do this every now and then with their starting pitchers just to get them used to coming out of the pen for situations exactly like this.
Yeah, 58 1/3 innings pitched, a 4.78 ERA for Watterson this year. You mentioned it already. His 3rd appearance out of the pen. Does have 1 complete game. A .228 batting average against him with a team-high 62 strikeouts. Coming into today, he led the strikeout race by almost 20 over who used to be second place in Jacob Walker, but a couple strikeouts for Jacobs move him into second.
Watterson, first pitch strike there. Saul at the plate. I think he just got a piece of that one as he was swinging. Chang caught it either way, did the catcher. 0-1 pitch on the way. That's what you can do when you have a 1-game winner-take-all 9-inning game. You can throw your 2 starting pitchers here back-to-back. Grounder over to the second baseman here. Fielded clean, throw to first on the run. That's 1 out in the books on 2 pitches for Slater Watterson.
It's an efficient way to start for Watterson. We saw that Briarcliff was really good early on at getting Palmer Jacobs to throw a lot of pitches, get deep into counts. Here early on, they're getting their first taste of Slater Watterson. We'll see if we saw in that first bat, it looked like Watterson was attacking the batter a little more. We'll see if that's the mindset throughout.
And with only 4 innings left, pitch count really doesn't matter for relievers at this point. Watterson's a starter. He's thrown 10 starts on the season. He can throw enough pitches to get him through the end of this game if the Lancers need him to do that. However, his first hit of the game will be surrendered in the next man up. On the first pitch, Marquardt got his first hit there, and he'll be on first, right in between short and third. Little hopper.
Yeah, Marquardt said, forget all that talk about Watterson. Watch this drive into left field.
Watch this drive.
Split the shortstop and the third baseman. Well-placed hit. He's going to get a courtesy runner as well. We mentioned it earlier with St. Cyr coming out to run for him.
Now it's Newbeck, the DH, who does have a hit in this game. Now at the plate, lefty batter, Watterson going to fire at him. Out towards center field. This one is driven. Owens going back to the fence. Wait a second. It's gone over the fence. 2-run home run for Briar Cliff. A heartbreaking way to start off the bottom of the sixth. This game no longer tied 4-2 on a 2-run home run. And for Slater Watterson, only his second batter, or third batter, I should say, and a home run given up. And sometimes that's the struggles of a starting pitcher who has 10 starts on the season coming out of the pen, a role that he's not super used to, only the third time he's done this all year.
Only the third home run of the season for Connor Newbeck, but he sent that one to a new county over the left center field fence.
Next man up, and Reamer, right fielder, went low for that one. Strike thrown. And the Lancers now going to have to play catch up in the final 3 frames. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning at the moment. Outside throw once again. 1 hit, 1 RBI already for Reamer with a strikeout in there. First time he's seeing Watterson. And we'll see here how Watterson shakes off that home run he just gave up.
It's more used in boxing than any other sport, but it's not really about how you get knocked down. It's about how you get back up as a mentality as an athlete. And that's the situation that Watterson finds himself in. And a punch-out is a great way to show how you're getting back up.
That's a great way to get back up. You strike out the next batter up. 2 outs on the board now. And here's Schmid, the center fielder. Only kind of bad news here with 2 outs on the board. If you get this center fielder, it'll be the second straight time the 8th man in the order has been the final out of an inning, and we could start with that 9-hole batter again in the next inning. And the last time that happened, they were able to do something with him. He got on base, and then we went to the top of the order. First things first, they got to get Schmidt out, who is batting 8th today. 3rd trip here, he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout in there.
If you remember earlier on, Padilla was a little shaken up after that play at the plate where he went up and over Chang. He is in the on-deck circle, so there's whatever he was dealing with, it was just a little bit of a stinger.
It's good news. Yeah. Swing and miss. Strike 1 thrown from Watterson here for Schmidt. He's got a 2-1 count now. Started with 2 balls. Watterson just struck out the last batter up. He's got to have a short memory here because gave up a home run in this inning, which surrendered the lead. 4-1, or 4-2, your score. Lancers just tied it up in the top of the inning. Give the lead right back to Briar Cliff here. It's happened now twice. In 2 innings now, now in the 4th and the 6th, Lancers put on 1 run to tie up the game. And in the bottom of that inning, Briar Cliff takes it right back. They've led or tied the whole way through. Mount Marty's never led.
Shows a lot about how the Chargers have been playing baseball this last month of the season. They consistently rise to the occasion when called upon, and they're letting Mount Marty get close, but as you said, never letting them take the lead.
Did not go around on the full count pitch, and that'll walk him. So 1 on now with 2 outs. After the home run, strikeout, walk, and now here comes Padilla, that shortstop. Once again, as you said, was a little shaken up after jumping over the catcher and home plate. Landed awkwardly on his left leg. Was pointing to his knee, talking to a trainer. Looks like he's good out here. A little bit of a handshaking between the catcher and the batter after the first swing. I'm not sure if...
Wonder if it's no hard feelings for that play at the plate
earlier.
Yeah,
maybe. 0-1 pitch. Swing and miss at strike 2 there.
Padilla here for the Chargers is a junior, stands 6 foot.
Oh, 1 pitch on the way. Oh, 2 should be. High throw. Ball 1 of the at-bat. 1-2 count. 2 outs on the board with a man on first. Watterson just walks Schmid, the batter who is 8th in the order. Padilla, the 9-hole. Throw over to first. Not going to get him. This is a big at-bat for Briar Cliff because if you can get on here, even though there's 2 outs, you go back to the top of the order with 2 on. You really need to get this man out if you're Mount Marty. Outside throw from Watterson here, 2-1 count.
Doesn't mean a change is imminent, Tehl, but just to do a little housekeeping, does look like someone is warming up out in the bullpen in right field. With how this inning started, it does make sense, but if Watterson's able to work out of it, I expect that to, that warm-up to be shut down, if not at least quieted down a little bit if he's able to work out.
Watterson, as we've talked about, is we have strike 3 delivered, and that'll do for the inning. A starting pitcher, not normally a bullpen arm, coming out of the bullpen in these situations, something he's not really used to, and that might have been all it is. Now that we've seen strike 3, the next time we see him, we'll start off an inning where he's used to, so maybe that'll change things for him. We'll take a break now as that inning is done after the strikeout. 4-2, a 2-run home run gives Briarcliff a lead back in 60.
Right now at Les Schwab Tires, it's the Best for Less sales event. Save up to $120 instantly on a set of 4 tires. Choose from a wide selection of some of our longest-lasting, best-performing tires. Plus, you'll get America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no-hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Just another way you'll get more from less. Stop by a store or shop online at leschwab.com. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Traveling to Yankton for business or pleasure? Then book your stay at Yankton's 2 best hotels, the Fairfield by Marriott and Holiday Inn Express. Both are conveniently located to everything in Yankton. Both offer complimentary hot breakfast and meeting rooms for business travelers. And if you want a great rate with flexible reservation changes, call either hotel direct. The Fairfield by Marriott and Holiday Inn Express, 2 great hotel choices when visiting or arranging rooms for guests to Yankton.
A heartbreaking bottom of the 6th for the second time in this game. The Lancers tie up the ball game at the top of the inning, and the second straight time Briarcliff takes away that lead. They lead it 4-2 after a 2-run homer, the only home run we have seen in the championship game today. Let's start the 7th with Ryan Bachman. Down 4-2 are the Lancers. Ryan Bachman batting leadoff here. He's 3rd in the order, leading off the 7th. First pitch strike delivered, and this is still Hayes out here throwing for Briarcliff. Nick Hayes, 86 pitches coming into this inning. Grounder right past him out towards center field. And this is one of those innings, you're in the 7th inning for your starting pitcher. Pitch count just about to go to 90 there in this next at-bat after Gardner just hit a single to get on. You got to wonder how long the leash is for the starting pitcher here.
You got to assume it won't be the longest in the world, that's for sure. And speaking about leashes for pitchers, we kind of mentioned that in the last half inning. There was another arm up in the bullpen for Mount Marty after Watterson gave up that home run. It looked like, to me, it was Aspinall, but right now nobody's up and throwing. So they did to cool him down. So you got a pinch runner out there in Vorwald for Bachman at first.
Trey Vorwald, another one of their seniors, an experienced base runner. He's a grad senior, actually, out of Indiana.
So it's pinch runner instead of courtesy runner, but Bachman is allowed 1 re-entry, so they should. He most likely will go back out in the field after this. But this is the one time they can use Vorwald as a pinch runner for Bachman.
It's interesting that this is the moment they wanted to use it. I wonder if they're going to maybe try and send him here, get in scoring position. The Lancers only 2 runs so far today. They've been working Hayes very well. And also, once again, as we just talked about it, Hayes is getting up there in the pitch count, starting to get late in the game for him. Lancers maybe seeing this as an opportunity of this is the time to try and put up some runs.
It's a good part of the order to do it. We talk at length about there's not really a bad part of the order to try to get something going if you're the Mount Marty Lancers or the Briarcliff Chargers today.
Did not go around, did Daniel Vonnegut. He's got a 1-1 count. Leadoff man is on. But once again, I wouldn't expect the leash is very long for Hayes. If he gives up back-to-back hits to start the inning, that might do it for him.
If Vonnegut's able to get on here, you'd be really happy for if you're a Lancer fan with Shugo Kondo 2 for 3 on deck.
And a man in scoring position if Vonnegut can get on. But a foul ball here will put him down in the count 1-2. Lancers have opportunities here. Just got to get rolling. Vonnegut has scored a run, one of the 2 for the Lancers. And it was actually that first one brought in by Shugo Kondo back in the 4th. Last inning out, Kondo himself ended up scoring a run. 2-2 pitch on the way. Out towards left field, foul ball. Had all the power in the world. If that stayed right at that foul pole, that'd have been into the crowd, the bleachers out in left field, but just too far to the left.
So there's a nice little hill out just past the left field fence where, as you mentioned, they got some bleachers out there. Looks like people are just sitting on that hill as well. They brought blankets, folding chairs, whatever. Said they didn't take in a baseball game. Big day here at Briar Cliff.
Briar Cliff once again looking for their first ever GPAC championship. Inside throw for Vonnegut. Make the count full. These fans are excited, and it is a packed house here, let me tell you. Packed house here at Bishop Mueller Complex. Full count pitch for Vonnegut with 1 on, no outs. Outside throw. Strike called. Vonnegut will head back to the dugout, 1 out on the board.
That's a tough pitch to take for Vonnegut. I think he thought it was outside there, but he's upset with himself walking back to the dugout. Still got a chance at runs this inning with only 1 down, but now you have to worry about the potential for a double play ball if you're Mount Marty. You expect Hayes to try to work Kondo low to force some infield contact.
Kondo, as you mentioned, has 2 hits today. He has an RBI back in the 4th inning, and he was hit home back in the 6th. Now batting here in the 7th. Lancers really had things moving in that 6th. Once again, he's batting second in the order here, and he was also batting last inning, even though the Lancers only put up 1 run. It's because they had the bases loaded when they were retired. A missed opportunity last inning for the Lancers. Now with their leadoff man on, they're trying to fix that. 1-1 count. Outside throw again. 2-1.
It's the last 2 batters now in a row, and off and on throughout the entire game, Hayes has been working away for the right-handed hitters of Mount Marty.
For Hayes. Pitch 99 goes down the left field line, and it is brought in by the third baseman. Throw to second, throw to first. Double play will end the inning on the 99th pitch of the day for Hayes. That'll do for the top of the 7th.
What a stretch at first by Nico Saul. Almost a full vertical split for him to glove that one. If he doesn't stretch out that far, Kondo's safe at first.
4-2 your score. When we go to the bottom of the 7th, Briar Cliff over Mount Marty back in 60 seconds on KYNT.
Are you looking for the easy way to travel in 2025? Let Foreman Charters do the driving for your next trip. Upcoming tours include a 4-day trip with stops in the Black Hills and Medora, North Dakota for the famous Medora musical, leaving on June 27th. Foreman will also tour some of the best wineries and breweries in the Black Hills area, beginning July 11th through July 13th. For more on these and other 2025 Foreman Charter tours, go to foremanbus.com.
Sherco's newest wireless remote system, the SureLink, is based on the most advanced industrial Bluetooth technology, delivering greater reliability and range. The Sherco Pro offers Sherco's best-in-class express operation for simple, single-touch operation. Looking for a low-cost option? Then the SureLink EZR remote may be right for you. Give us a call at 1-800-474-8756 or find us at Sherco.com. Demand the best. Demand Sherco.
4-2 your score as we go to the bottom of the 7th. For the second straight half inning, the Lancers had scoring opportunities. Briar Cliff shuts the door. 2 innings ago, they had the bases loaded when the final out came away with only 1 run. to tie up the game. Briar Cliff then put 2 on in the bottom of the 6th. In the 7th, leadoff man gets on. They put in a pinch runner trying around the bags, and the next 3 go 3 up, 3 down, and a double, or 2 up, 2 down, because a double play into the inning with Vorwald at second, and Bachman running for Bachman. We're now starting off the bottom of the 7th. It's a 1-run count. Bryant, leading off the game, is the leadoff hitter, is now at the plate, 2-1. And another deep shot off the glove of Slater Watterson, and it is off the fence in left center. Mount Marty caught a break. That is a short fence in the gap out in left center. Only about 5 to 6 feet tall, and it hit the top of it. That was very nearly the second home run of the game given up by Slater Watterson.
But that's why you got to wonder if that's going to start action up in the bullpen again. Does look like it's Aspinall again working out there in the bullpen, and might get a mound visit here from Coach Tycro. Wants to talk to Watterson. Don't know if it's just to settle him down or if he's going to signal to the pen to bring him in as well.
It's hard to say. This is a situation where you might just take him out because you cannot give anything up, and it's not been a great day so far for Slater Watterson. Watterson, yes, will be retired here. That will do it, and we're going to have a new pitcher. Looks like, I believe that is Dahl.
Yeah, that is Aspinall coming out of the pen. Been working out off and on since Watterson got into the game, just in case he needed to be called upon, and right now we'll see him come in once everything gets rolling.
And once again, every arm is available for the Lancers. You know, we're past the point of the tournament where you have a next game up. You know, this is winner take all. Go into the tournament, and there will be a week in between games before the start of the national tournament. Everybody is available today, and the Lancers are making a change. We'll take a break while he warms up of 30 seconds. We'll come back and tell you all the stats of Aspinall this season in 30 seconds on KYT.
When you need a break, Pizza Ranch is ready. Rough day or good day, sometimes you just need a buffet. And we've got all your favorites always ready to serve. Come to the place that puts a smile on your face. This is Mike at Yankton Pizza Ranch. If you need pizza, desserts, or the country's best chicken, our buffet is ready for you every day from 11 to 8. So make today a buffet day at Yankton Pizza Ranch.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
Aspinall now pitching in relief for the Mount Marty Lancers. Third arm up today to toe the rubber. Aspinall has had a good tournament so far. He's appeared in 2 games, 2 2/3 innings pitched, 1 run given up, and that is all in this tournament. In his first appearance against Morningside, he struck out 4 of 7 batters. He faced over 2 full innings late in that game to give the Lancers that Game 1 victory. Had a good performance in his second game as well. 5 strikeouts through the tournament with a save in there and a 3.37 ERA in this tournament alone. Give me his stats on the season.
Across the entire year, 12 appearances, 9 of them starts, 36 2/3 innings pitched. Does have a batting average against him of 3.67 and an ERA that's up over 7, but once again, he's been very good here down the stretch.
As you mentioned, 9 starts for Aspinall, another starting pitcher here, getting a good role today, but a little different situation from Slater Watterson, as late in the season, Aspinall actually transitioned from the Lancers from a starting pitcher into a bullpen arm. He has come in relief a little more often than the last guy, Watterson. And we saw that bother Watterson a little bit, had a home run and basically a half as that last one hit off the fence, very nearly his second one. We'll see if Dahl struggles out of the gate as well. 1 on with no outs here in the 7th. 4-2, Briar Cliff leads over Mount Marty. Bryant just got a leadoff double. Chronic now showing bunt. And it'll take strike 1. I think that missed the bat. Maybe it just got a piece of it. Either way, it was foul if it did. 1-1 count.
You know, Tehl, we mentioned earlier on we got a couple guys we know that go to Briar Cliff, and I just got a text from one of them that was very simple. Said, "Don't let us get hot." And I know he means it like jokingly or just kind of poking at us, but it's a very true statement. The last thing you can let Briar Cliff do is this late in the game is start to get those bats hot. You can find yourselves in a deep hole quickly.
The last team that found out what happens when Briar Cliff gets hot was Concordia just on Saturday when the game was tied 2-2. As you go to the 6th inning, Briar Cliff put up 14 runs in the top of the 6th inning in order to win it over Concordia. Concordia never recovered from that. It ended up being a run rule victory in 7 innings for the Briarcliff Chargers. 14 runs in 1/2 inning last time Briarcliff was out here. Don't let them get hot. Swinging low for that one was Chronic. Just missed. 1-2 count. Two-run ball game here in the 7th. Bottom of the inning. Briarcliff leads and they're batting. Outside throw here for Chronic. Make the count even at 2 apiece. No outs on the board once again. Aspendall's first batter of the day he's facing.
That was a tough challenge for Dahl out of the pen with a runner already on second, but he's facing 2, 3, 4 in the lineup. And the guys behind Chronic are 2 of the biggest bats in the entire GPAC right now in Trujillo and Saul.
Right now, vibes are high for the home team Chargers. Vibes are low for the Lancers. This is the moment for Briarcliff. If they're going to blow open this ball game, it's going to happen in the bottom of this inning. I really feel like if the Lancers can just get out of this inning, they've got a real chance of putting things on in the 8th and 9th. But a hit by pitch here. Chronic is nodding. The dugout is applauding. Chronic's going to get on first. Momentum is a very, very real thing in the game of baseball. Once again, on Saturday, Briarcliff, 14 runs over the number 12 team in the nation in Concordia in just 1/2 inning. When they get hot, they're just about unstoppable, and they're starting to get hot here. Lancers have got to shut them down before anything bad happens. Aspendall going to be on the mound, and we're going to have a quick infield visit. McLaughlin, head coach for Briarcliff, calling in his runners and his couple of batters. Next one's up. Discussing strategy here. There's going to be 2 on with no outs, and it's the 3rd man in the order in Trujillo. Now up. Saul on deck.
Obviously, that's allowed because they let him do it. But I think that's the first time I've ever seen a coach call timeout and say, hey, all my base runners off the base paths real quick. We need to have a conversation about what we're doing out here.
McLaughlin's been doing it a long time, and he knows exactly how big this moment is. I only wonder what the strategy is here for Briarcliff, what he just asked him to do. It was a short meeting, and we're back underway. Showing bunt here is Trujillo, maybe trying to extend batters. Nope, pulled it back. Maybe it threw off the pitcher and the catcher. Wild pitch. So in back-to-back pitches now, we've seen an HBP and a wild pitch that advanced runners to 2nd and 3rd. We started just 2 pitches ago. There was 1 on with no outs. Now, in 2 pitches, an HBP put 2 on, and a wild pitch put them on 2nd and 3rd. Things are bad for Mount Marty right now. They can still get out of it. No runs allowed. But now we see an intentional walk. Trujillo is going to go to first, and that'll bring up Saul. Bases loaded, and we're going to bring up Nico Saul.
It's a dangerous game being played right now, but you take the risk with the reward. The reward, there's a force at any base. You can go home, go to first, get 2 outs, and then have only 1 out away from ending the inning. The risk, it's Nico Saul at the plate.
Foul ball off his bat. 0-1 count. Now, no matter what, there's going to be 2 innings left, but this really feels, if Briarcliff can get something rolling, that they could just about make things really difficult for the Lancers here. Ball throw this time after the first pitch, foul. 1-1 count.
There is action going on in the Lancer bullpen once again. Looks like that's Garrett Seamson warming up down there.
Nico Saul has 14 home runs hit on the season. He's got the bases loaded here. That's far and away the highest on the team. Grounder to the second baseman. This is what the Lancers needed. They got 1. Throw to first. They're going to turn 2. Lancers do get the double play off the bat of Nico Saul. Grounded into the double play. Exactly what they needed. They give up 1 run on it, but now there's 2 outs on the board. That was maybe best case scenario right there.
If it ain't best case scenario, they get the silver medal. So
yeah, easily.
It's a gutsy game to walk Trujillo. I know Trujillo is a very dangerous hitter, but to walk the bases loaded for Nico Saul, the cleanup man, you are playing with fire. Usually you get burned, but in the end you end up retiring both Trujillo and Saul on the base paths with that double play.
That was a risky move from head coach Josh Tykrow, but it paid off. Lancers are still in this game. 2 outs on the board, 5-2 they trail. Once again, 1 run scored there, but that could have been a lot worse. Lancers now just need to get out number 3. Ball throw on the outside from Dahl. That's 2-0 is the count here for Marquardt. Just got to get him out and get out of this inning now. Get your batters back up when we go to the 8th, down only 3. This Lancer team, their bats can get hot. They're averaging 7.5 runs a game on the season. They've only got 2 here, well below their average. Means they're due.
Just like my electric bill. If you're ever in a tense moment, Tehl, just invite me. I'll break the tension, don't worry.
2-1 pitch. Swing and miss for strike 2. Dahl, 1 pitch away from ending this inning. Lancers once again have given up 1 run here in the bottom of the 7th. Which, given the situation, he'll take it. Got the double play. 2-2 count. Dahl trying to finish off the inning now. Out towards left field. This is going to drop for a base hit, and another run comes in. Bad situation here. Briar Cliff gets 1 more. And we're going to have a courtesy runner come in once again. Marquardt just got another hit. St. Cyr will come in a run for him. He's had 2 runs score already. St. Cyr will be on first. 6-2 now the score. Lancers just couldn't get that final out.
St. Cyr's been the courtesy runner a couple of times for Marquardt, and he has scored both times so far from the looks of it. So something to keep an eye on here with him at first base, as it looks like we're going to get a pitching change.
Yep, Aspinall's day is done. Once again, every arm is available for the Lancers. If somebody's struggling, you have other arms available, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Looks like it'll be Garrett Seamson next man up. We're going to take a break while he warms up here. Lancers trying to finish off the 7th. Back in 60 seconds on KYNT.
Quit hitting the snooze button on your new career. Parker offers day 1 benefits and an employer who puts you first. Grind through the workday in your own specialty. Assembler, material handler, or line operation tech. Don't mind working nights? Enjoy a pay differential of $2.35. Choose your shift and enjoy day 1 benefits. This isn't just a job, it's your future. Join us today. Find more information and apply now at parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
The Dakota Theater, operated by nonprofit Onward Yankton, is dedicated to providing entertainment and cultural opportunities for all citizens of the greater Yankton region. They believe the arts strengthen our community by inspiring, uniting, and educating children and adults of all backgrounds. The Dakota Theater is in a time of revitalization, including restoration and renovation, technology upgrades, program enhancement, and establishing an endowment to ensure the long-term financial stability of the theater. Please donate at dakotatheater.org.
All right, back here in the bottom of the 7th, 2 runs have been given up by the Lancers in both the 6th and the 7th. 2 outs are on the board, and there will be a runner on for the Chargers as we go now to Newbeck. New pitcher out there, and Garrett Seamson. Lancers just trying to get out of this inning. Seamson going to be the guy to try and get this final out. He does have an appearance in this tournament already. Allowed 2 hits, no runs, over 2 1/3 innings. Had 2 strikeouts in there as well. I believe against Doan. It was a good appearance. And first pitch for him, he's going to put one deep into left center field, and it is caught for out number 3 on the first pitch. And the Lancers do get out of the 7th off 1 pitch from Seamson, fly out to center. That'll take us to the 8th inning. Mount Marty with some work to do over the final 2 frames. 6-2, they need 4 runs. And they're down to their final 6 outs. Back in 60 seconds on KYNT.
Beef, pork, seafood, poultry, and more. All at the Meat Lodge in Yankton. Get top quality meats at great prices. They have specialty items like lamb, brisket, mahi-mahi, crab legs, and lobster. They even have non-meat options like Dimmick cheese, pickled items, seasonings, and sauces. For your convenience, you can call and order curbside pickup or order online at meatlodge.com. The Meat Lodge in Yankton, on the way to the lake on Highway 52.
As a proud community bank, Core Trust delivers more than just checking and savings accounts. We invest in the cities and towns where we live and work by volunteering to coach youth sports teams, supporting local charities and the arts with our time and resources, Whether we live in a rural town in South Dakota or a suburban city in Minnesota, it's a place we call home. Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations.
Member FDIC.
Let's go to the 8th inning. Mount Marty Lancer baseball here on KYNT. Top of the 8th about to start. 6-2 is your score. Briar Cliff on top of Mount Marty. New pitcher out there for the Chargers, and Cade Nelson, a senior righty, one of their starting guys. Briar Cliff now shades of Mount Marty of exactly what they're doing. Second guy out of the pen, one of their starters as well, and he actually started against the Lancers earlier this season. Did take the loss on the mound in that earlier meeting. Ended up had 4 hits given up with 3 runs, had 4 strikeouts to 3 walks. Actually hit 4 batters in that game as well. Give me stats on the season, Brayden.
Yeah, look at it as a whole. 5-3 overall record. 10 games, all starts. 4 of them complete games. A 5.53 ERA. 49 strikeouts. 284 batting average against.
He's going to face near the bottom of the order. It's Tyler Vance, who bats 6th. Shortstop out there. Will Gardner, Molnaric, and Nolm, the next 3 up to start off the 8th. First pitch, ball, looking at Vance. Swing and miss. Strike 1 on the next pitch. We can give the final stats of Hayes as well.
Yeah, looking at Hayes, how he wrapped it up. 7 complete innings, 99 pitches, 9 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Faced 32 batters.
Let's go ahead and give the final stats of 3 Lancer pitchers as well. Slater Watterson ended up throwing in relief of Jacobs only 1 inning. Aspinall threw 2/3 of that 7th, and then Seamson ended up throwing the final out. Lancers actually threw 3 pitchers in that 7th.
Yeah, 24 pitches, 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned, and 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts for Watterson.
Foul ball makes it a full count.
Dahl came in, pitched 2/3 of the 7th inning. He threw 18 pitches, 1 hit, 1 run, it was earned, 1 walk, 4 batters faced, and then Seamson, as you mentioned, throws 1 pitch, it's a fly out to left center. Very efficient for Seamson so far.
Full count pitch is high, and the first batter of the day for Cade Nelson is walked. Tyler Vance will take first base. Cade Nelson, once again, that senior righty pitcher. That's the man the Lancers have got to take advantage of.
There's one thing about Nelson you mentioned, struggled with hitting a couple batters with pitches earlier on in the year. Did have 21 walks issued this season in 55 innings. So on average, about every 2 to 2.5 innings, he's walking a batter, which isn't the worst, but it's still something to keep an eye on for a guy who's usually a starter.
Lancers, once again, have some work to do against him. 4 runs to make up over 2 innings. 6-2, they trail. Now, Mount Marty, once again, a team that can get hot just at any moment, as we're going to have an infield visit here between the catcher and the pitcher. They'll bring in the rest of the infield as well just to talk for a second. No coach out there, just a players meeting. But the Lancers can get hot at any time. We've talked at length about the 6th inning through this tournament, where they had 11 runs combined in the first 2 games, 6 in one game, 5 in the next. They can put up runs when they get hot as well. They need an inning like that now. It was against Morningside in the Pod Championships on Friday, the 8th inning, where the Lancers had a 2-run home run to take the lead off the bat of Aiden Shang. Last time the Lancers were in an 8th inning, it ended up being the inning that basically won it for them. We'll see if they can get back into this game in the 8th here. 3-0 count for Gardner. Nelson walked his first batter, and now a 3-0 count. Found the zone that time. In danger of going 4 straight strikes and 2 straight walks, but found the zone there.
With the Lancers down 4 here, you can see them still being patient at the plate, and that's what you like to see. Nobody's forcing anything, even with the late deficit.
And there is the walk in the very next pitch. And there's a mound visit. It'd be really quick if Nelson's day is done that fast. Only 2 batters. You got to wonder if the bullpen arm is even warm enough to come out yet, or if they're just going to have a quick little mound visit, talk to Nelson, and try and calm him down. Nope, they're gonna say he's done. We'll see how warm that bullpen arm is, whoever comes out next.
You know, something to think about here, Tehl. We've seen now a traditional starter from both teams come in relief and just not have their best stuff. That kind of shows that the mentality is different coming out of the pen. And maybe these guys have pregame routines when they usually start. They treat the day differently, and they're just off coming out as relievers.
We talked about that at length with Slater Watterson. Same story for Nelson. And now, next pitcher up is number 46, Johnny Reed. I believe Johnny Reed, yes, he has thrown one game in this tournament. He threw 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 run, had 1 walk to 2 strikeouts so far, but he also did get the win in the Concordia Pod in his lone appearance in this tournament.
On the season for Reed, he has a 5.01 ERA, 5-1 record, 12 appearances, only 1 start, 32 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 11 walks. He has 21 strikeouts and a 223 batting average against him. Very
He's
good.
out there warming up now, and it's a big situation now for the Lancers. They've got runners on after we just had back-to-back walks. Lancers have 2 on with no outs in the 8th to start things off. This is the situation that they've been waiting for. 2 on with no outs. They've got to do something with this. You cannot put up a 0 in this inning. Go to the 9th with 4 runs to make up, especially the way this 8th has started for them. It would be a crusher to morale if you end up putting up a 0 in this inning.
You got something to think about here. You don't want to put the cart before the horse. The Lancers are at most trying just to nip away at this lead. Like you mentioned, you don't want to be down 4 still heading into the 9th inning, especially in the situation you're in now. You like to get maybe half, if not 3 runs back, half of this lead back to 3 runs back from the bottom of your order, especially heading into the top with now you got Jackson Nome, the 9-hole hitter, on deck, and that means Aiden Chang in the top of the order is in the hole for the Lancers.
It's a tough situation for Briar Cliff right now. Lancers starting to turn this game around, but they've got to get some runs in. No outs, 2 on, ideal situation now with Molnaric at the plate. He has a hit and an RBI today, and once again, one of the best on the team at taking walks. In terms of at-bats to walks, far and away, averaging the most on the season. Second on the team in total walks.
And we mentioned earlier in half the at-bats as the team leader.
Yeah. The average is there. He's really able to get on base well, flirting with that 500 mark in the OBP. Throw over to second base, not going to get Vance, the shortstop running for the Lancers. An athletic man on second. He would be the first hit home. He's fast. Base hit would probably bring him in. Lancers need something here in the 8th. Molnaric takes a strike looking there, 2-1.
I was close on the outer half to the left-handed batter. And Molnaric even asked for some clarification from the home plate umpire, too. It clipped the zone. All right. Molnaric takes that one into account and maybe adjust his eyesight now.
Checked his swing there and went into the zone. 2-2 count. Two pitch on the way here now for Reed. Johnny Reed, junior righty pitcher. Trying to get the save for Briar Cliff now, and he'll get a strikeout. Molnaric will strike out on a 2-2 pitch.
That's a huge pitch there for Reed. To battle back, too, from going down 2-0 in the count. 3 straight strikes past Molnaric, the final one setting him down.
Jackson Nome now up to bat here in the 8th. 1 out on the board. Lancers have runners on first and second.
Noticed it with Nome often this season. He walks into the batter's box with a certain level of confidence where no moment feels too big for him.
First pitch strike here from Reed. You come in and you strike out your first batter. It just gives you a lot of confidence. Now the second batter Reed facing today is the 9-hole batter. You really need Nome to get on here. You don't want to have 2 outs when you go to the top of the order in just a moment. Inside throw there, nearly clipped Nome. Mount Marty certainly would have taken that. Didn't get him. 1-1 count. A walker and HBP would load the bases with only 1 out when we go to the top of the order, and Aiden Chang is on deck. Nome really needs to get something here. 1-1 pitch. Reed checking the man on second. Now fires, and there is the HBP. Nearly clipped him in the last pitch. Now Nome is on. Bases loaded. 1 out. Here comes Aiden Chang. Last time he was here, he was intentionally walked because you just don't want to mess with this guy. Aiden Chang has been so hot in this tournament. Entered today with 9 RBIs through the last 3 games for the Lancers. Is 2 for 2 today. 2 hits and 2 at-bats, plus a walk and an HBP in there. He has got on base all 4 times he stepped up, now his 5th. And he's going to swing and put a foul ball into this one on his first pitch.
Chang represents the tying run right now for the Lancers as well, which is huge considering you going into the 8th inning down 4 runs. You're not expecting a chance to even sniff a tie right away. You just want to get a couple runs back.
It was the 8th inning on Friday in the last game out. Aiden Chang hit the home run to give the Lancers the lead that they kept in the 9th. Won the game over Morningside. He takes a ball throw here, 1-1 count. Nearly a wild pitch. I mean, maybe it did. It got by the catcher for a second, but he was able to handle it in time before anybody moved. One count with 1 out. Biggest at-bat of the season for the Lancers, and an HBP is going to lead to a run. Second straight hit by pitch. Nome was hit, now Chang was hit. Chang hit for the 2nd time in this game. Chang is now 5 for 5 getting on base, and that led to a run, 6-3. Now the first one is in the books for the Lancers, and 2 straight batters hit by Briar Cliff. The winds are changing. Lancers still trail by 3, but with 1 out, bases are loaded. They're in a good situation here. Owens gonna get a grounder. It's gonna go into the glove of the shortstop. Got one at 3rd. Not gonna fire over to 1st, but that is the 2nd out. But an RBI, sacrifice RBI for Owens, and 2 runs have come across for the Lancers in the 8th. 2 outs on the board, 6-4 your score. Now Marty getting back into this game. Aiden Chang just got his first RBI after the hit by pitch. Owens now gets a sacrifice, or gets an RBI as well. I don't know if that'll be fielder's choice. Yeah, I think it'll be a fielder's choice RBI, but either way, 1 run scored. Runner thrown out at 3rd after the grounder to 3rd, but once again, runs are all that matter right now. 6-4 is your score in the top of the 8th. Bachman taking swings.
So we talk about situational hitting and how the Lancers adapt to what's being given to them. With 2 outs here in the top of inning number 8, that swing from Bachman looked like he wanted to take the lead.
Foul ball off the bat. 2 on, Bachman at the plate. A home run would give the Lancers the advantage here in the 8th, but 2 outs on the board once again. Briar Cliff only a strike throw away from ending this inning. Bachman's in an 0-2 hole here, facing Reed. Reed after back-to-back hit by pitches and then a run given up on a hit by Owens. They still roll with him. We saw Caden Nelson come out and only have 2 at-bats. He had a short leash. Reed, they really want him to finish off this inning, maybe because nobody was warm yet in the pen. Maybe we'll see what happens in the 9th, but first we got to get there. 1-2 pitch for Bachman. 2 outs. Swing and miss, strike 3. Lancers lead 2 on as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Briar Cliff is 3 outs away from their first ever GPAC championship when we go to the 9th. First things first, they're going to go for insurance runs in the bottom of the inning. Back in 60 seconds, 6-4, Briar Cliff advantage.
Looking for the perfect place to get together with friends and family, watch the game, and enjoy some of the best wings in town? Make plans to visit Checkers Sports Bar and Grill. Whether it's baseball, hockey highlights, or any other sport, your game day cravings are covered. Enjoy the action while you dig into mouth-watering wings, juicy burgers, and stacked sandwiches. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Checkers Sports Bar and Grill is Yankton's favorite spot for food, friends, and sports. Your game days belong at Checkers.
Looking for fuel or more? Stop by Triple Time Rudy's, your locally owned convenience store at 17th and Broadway. At Triple Time Rudy's, they're proud to support the community, offering fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers and backing local activities and events. Inside, you'll discover regional favorites like Dimmock Cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. Whether it's a quick snack, a tank of top quality fuel, or a taste of local goodness, Triple Time Rudy's, fueling your day, fueling the community.
6-4 score of this ball game as we start off the bottom of the 8th inning. Garrett Seamson on the mound for the Mount Marty Lancers. Got that final out of the 7th off one pitch, a fly out to center. Now his first complete inning now incoming. First time he has a chance to really go for a while. And they need him to go for a while. Lancers need to put up a 0 in this 8th. Already 2 runs to make up when we go to the 9th. First pitch was a ball and the first man into the box. Second pitch, ball as well. He is facing Reamer, the 7th batter in the order.
Seamson might be a little cold here. I know that 2 spot in the top half of the inning was big for Mount Marty, but you gas him up, throw one pitch, and then you set him right back down and put him in ice, basically, while you're out in the field.
There's a strike throw on a 2-0 pitch. 2-1 count looking. Reamer, who does have a hit and an RBI here today with 2 strikeouts. Trying to get on, leading off the Chargers. Low inside throw again for Seamson. 3-1 count. Mount Marty, I believe, does have someone warming up in the pen just in case. When you get into this stage in the game, you're always going to have a closing arm warming up just in case you need him. You need him to be ready to go in any moment.
I don't know if you caught the number when you said closing arm or not, but that looks like 17, so you'd be exactly right in the description.
100%. Full count pitch. Strikeout. Seamson sets down his first. If that is 17, that'd be Zach Hagee. We'll see if we need to see him or not. Seamson just struck out his first batter.
That brings Schmid to the plate now here. He's had himself quite a day at the office. He's made a couple big plays out in center field. Doesn't have a hit, though, yet at the plate. Great defender, though, so far for the Chargers.
Schmid got a piece of it for a foul ball on his first pitch. 0-1 count with 1 out on the board. 6-4 score. Lancers trail by 2. For Briar Cliff at this point, they're just once again trying to put up insurance runs. They lead this game in the bottom of the 8th. They're 3 outs away when we go to the 9th. Another foul ball off the bat here. Lancers need to put up a 0. They need to get out of this inning without allowing a run. 0-2 pitch on the way after the second straight foul. If Briar Cliff can put up a couple of runs, they could almost put this game out of reach. Lancers can get hot, but these Briar Cliff bats, if they get rolling, they get rolling. Seamson, got to keep that from happening. 1-2 count here on a ball throw there.
They're trying to get him to chase low there. Chang set up low in the box basically the entire time. They're trying to get him to chase. They got pitches to work with.
Grounder over to the first baseman. Molnaric handled it very clean and will just tag the bag himself. Molnaric, only a sophomore, but has played well throughout the season. Good defensive play there, and that is 2 outs. You starting to feel it, Brayden? This game is coming down to it. As we go to the 9-hole batter now, Padilla. 2 outs on the board in the bottom of the 8th. Lancers need 2 runs in the 9th. They need this out here.
Coming down to it, Tehl. And the way these two teams have played in this tournament and just down the stretch of their seasons outside of that rough weekend against Morningside for Mount Marty, the way these two teams have been playing, how else could it have ended up besides coming down late?
Swing and miss at a low throw on an 0-1 pitch. Padilla. I believe that does make it 0-1. 2 outs on the board. Am I crazy? No, it should be 0-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. All right. 0-2 pitch incoming for Padilla. Swing and miss. Seamson. 3 up, 3 down. Exactly what the Lancers needed in the 8th. They need 2 runs in the 9th. Briar Cliff needs 3 outs. We'll see what happens first. We're naming a champion here pretty quick. Back in 60 seconds on KYNT.
Aztec is looking for people who can crush it. Aztec is hiring now, seeking a variety of positions, including engineers for manufacturing, electrical software and controls and design, plus electrical technician, maintenance tech, and tech support specialist. Aztec offers competitive pay, 10 paid holidays, incredible 401k, paid partner leave, safety incentives, and sign-on bonus for production workers. To apply for these jobs or to see what other opportunities are available, go to aztecjobs.com.
Brandon is super pumped about Runza,
Runza is so sweet.
especially all their desserts.
Oh, those are the sweetest.
Chocolate, vanilla, and twist ice cream cones, 4 flavors of shakes, chocolate chip cookies, and ice cream sandwiches.
Literally sweet.
Oh, I love your enthusiasm.
Well, I love Runza.
So sweet of you. Come satisfy your sweet tooth, because Runza makes it all better.
Runza on Broadway by Menards in Yankton.
We're down to the final frame of the 2025 season for one of these teams. We go to the 9th inning of play here on KYNT, 102.1 FM, AM 1450. Alongside Brayden Butler, I'm Tehl Tanner. Briar Cliff is 3 outs away from their first ever GPAC championship. The Lancers looking for their first since 2012. Mount Marty needs 2 runs to go in this 9th to extend this game, 3 to take a lead. Briar Cliff has the advantage right at the moment, Brayden.
And they brought in their closer, too, Rance Bryant on the mound. Look at him on the season, 9 appearances, 6 saves, 11 innings. He is the definition of closer for this Chargers team. 4.09 ERA. He's got 14 strikeouts, a .310 batting average against him. Has not given up an extra base hit this entire season. 13 hits, all singles against him.
For Briar Cliff, this is one of their guys. He can come in and get 3. Mount Marty, last gasp of what has been an incredible season as the 7 seed, making it to the GPAC championship game. Let's see if they can go to the national tournament. We're all going to decide it here. First pitch, foul ball off the bat of Daniel Vonnegut, who will be the first man up for the Lancers. He bats cleanup, 4th in the order. Second baseman who has scored a run today. One of the 4. Shugo Kondo on deck. We've talked about him at length today. Low throw for a 1-1 count. Crowd upset with it, but at this point in the game in the 9th inning, crowd will be upset with any ball call, as they should, honestly. That's their job. 1-1 count. High pop-up. Shortstop getting underneath of it. Nope, the third baseman who gets underneath of it and will bring it in. That is 1. Trujillo catches the first out needed for Briar Cliff.
That's big there to get that first out, especially in a 2-run game. Shugo Kondo going to step up to the plate next. He's been a good hitter all year long. He needs to get on base. That's where situations matter. Expect him maybe to choke up a little more, try to poke something into the outfield instead of focusing on potentially a big fly, which we know he can get.
First pitch strike. Just caught the very bottom of the zone there. 0-1 count here for Kondo. That was big getting the first batter out in the order for the Lancers there. And now Kondo is going to put one out into right field, and it is caught for out number 2. An adjustment had to be made by the right fielder out there in Reamer. He actually overran it and had to go back for it, but did make the catch. And that's 2. Mount Marty is down to the final out of the 2025 season.
And it's Tyler Vance who's stepping up to the plate. Vance became more of a rotational player late on in the season, stepping up big here down the stretch for the injury to Joe Goki.
Somebody play I Need a Hero. Outside throw for the relieving arm for Briar Cliff and Rance Bryant. And he'll get a strike throw. 1-1 count. Bryant was the second baseman to start things off and their leadoff hitter. Now trying to close out this game.
There's Justin Remar at second base now for Bryant as well.
2-1 pitch with 2 outs on the board. They're going to say he went around there. 2-2 count. Vance thought he checked his swing. Mount Marty's down to their final strike. 2 outs on the board. Top of the 9th. Here's the pitch. Outside. Vance makes the count full. Full count pitch with 2 outs on the board for Tyler Vance in the biggest at-bat of his career. And he's going to put it out into shallow left field. That'll drop for a base hit. Mount Marty's got one on. Vance, the shortstop, will get on, and Will Gardner, the man at the plate, will now represent the tying run of this game. And Will Gardner is the leader on the season for the Mount Marty Lancers in home run hits, tied with Aiden Chang at 10 apiece. His 11th here would tie up the game and send us to the bottom of the inning.
You know, Tehl, it's not the exact same kind of hit, but Tyler Vance, in place of the injured Joe Goki, sending one to left field to keep the Lancers season alive. A little bit poetic after last season.
Tyler Vance just stole second on the first pitch there. It was a strike throw for Gardner. Vance is now in scoring position on second. Lancers need 2 here. 2 outs on the board, 6-4 your score. Mount Marty down to their final out once again. The senior and Gardner. Been one of their best bats for a couple of years now. Trying to extend his season. As the 7 seed here, 7 and 4 seed battling. Neither team likely to get an at-large bid. You gotta win to get the automatic bid into the national tournament. GPAC championship coming down to the 9th inning. Gardner, swing and miss at strike 2. 1-2 count for Will Gardner.
Gardner, a grad student out of Canada too. This could be the last time he swings a bat as a Mount Marty Lancer.
1-2 pitch. 2 outs on the board. Pitcher steps off here. Making a throw to second. Vance in scoring position on second, but the Lancers need 2. Gardner's got to get under 1 here. A home run would tie the game. He really just needs to get on any way he can. The pitch. Grounder over to the shortstop. He fields it clean. Throw to first. Gardner's going to run it out. He ran out the throw, and the Lancers have 2 on here in the 9th. Gardner got there in time.
Tough play deep in the hole at shortstop as well for Briar Cliff. That's a tough throw for Padilla to make. Gardner, way to put the wheels on down the first base line to get over there. Looks like we're going to get a pinch runner for Gardner as well in this situation. Get a little more speed on the base paths than Christian Berry.
Yeah, that's a senior who's ran the bases a lot. Experienced guy. Now with runners on the corners, we'll see what they do. Lancers, they just had Vance steal. We'll see if they try it with him as well. There are 2 outs on the board. A throw down to second could end the game if they try it. 2 outs. Mount Marty's down to their last gas no matter what. Mulnerick needs to get both of these runners home to extend this game. Runners on the corners. First pitch for him. Strike 1 delivered. Rance Bryant trying to finish off this ball game. Vance and Gardner have both hit singles. Vance stole second. High throw on the next pitch. 1-1 count from Mulnerick. Season coming down to the wire for 2 teams that know each other well, only an hour away. Played each other in conference play for a long time. 1-1 pitch with 2 outs. Foul ball, make it a 1-2 from Mulnerick. Lancers once again down to the final strike of the 2025 season. Gardner was just here in this situation, was able to get a base hit off of it. Mulnerick trying to replicate that. A strike throw here would end this ball game in favor of the Briar Cliff Chargers.
Just saw a grad student and Gardner do it. Can a sophomore step up?
And he will, out towards center field. It drops. Lancers get 1. They're going to send Barry over to third, and he gets there in time. Safe is the call at third. Slides in head first. The tying run is 90 feet away. A gutsy call to send Barry. He got a good jump off first base. Ran through second, got all the way to third, slid in head first, and there will be runners on the corners. And it comes down to the 9-hole batter, Jackson Nome. Nome A base hit would tie up the game, and out would finish it.
Get another pinch runner at first base as well. This is Cannon Marshall coming in. Usually runs in place of Aiden Chang, but with Chang in the on-deck circle and the situation as is, just get that speed on the base paths.
Just get the speed. Looks like we're going to have a quick time here as Mount Marty brings in their infield to have their own meeting now. Jackson Nome is at the plate. And we got a mound visit here for Briarcliff. Both coaches coming in to talk with their players. It looks like they're going to leave Rance Bryant there. And we may be down to the final few pitches of this game. In the top of this ninth, Briarcliff, if they can get this out, it'll put it down, put it in the books. Mount Marty needs one more run to extend this lead. Or to tie this game. 2 runs to take the lead. Briarcliff, no matter what, they have a chance to win it in the bottom of the ninth if they don't win it here as the home team in this game. Home crowd getting loud for them. We're going to finish this game one way or another in the next few moments.
This is just an electric moment. No matter how it ends for either one of these teams, it's going to be sad that one of them has to lose, because this has been a great game, a great season, and it's rare you get 2 borderline Cinderella postseason runs.
7-4, meeting for a championship. Jackson Nome ready to start his at-bat. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. The tying run, 90 feet away. First pitch for him, gonna be low. Catcher blocks it and runs it down before Barry can move off third base. Nome, the 9-hole batter, trying to keep Mount Marty's season alive. 1-0 pitch. Strike thrown, looking.
That's a huge pitch there from Bryant as well on the mound. There's been a couple tough spots back-to-back. He's gotten back-to-back batters to 2-strike counts and giving up hits. I could shake the psyche a little bit of a closer. It's a good strike to get him over there.
1-1 pitch, grounded to the third baseman. Fielded clean, throw to first. Briarcliff has won the 2025 GPAC tournament. Dog pile near the mound. Briarcliff celebrates their first GPAC chip. Mount Marty falls 1 run away in the ninth. 6-5, your final score for the 7 seed Mount Marty Lancers. Briarcliff will move on to the national tournament.
I don't know what more there is to say. All I know is I watched that final out, and I'm not going to lie, the first place I looked was the on-deck circle with Aiden Chang, and the first thing he did was try to welcome Jackson Nome back from the first base spot. This is a team that loves and cares for each other. It stinks, how it ends up for them. It's unfortunate that a team that played this hard, played this well all season, it comes down to this, but congratulations to the Briarcliff Chargers. I want to take nothing away from them. I don't want to make their moment about something else, but to see how this Lancers team all year has fought with each other, for each other, it's unfortunate that it comes to an end here, but you can't say that they didn't give it their all and that Briarcliff doesn't deserve it as well.
Briarcliff once again winning their first GPAC championship. What a game it was to give it to them. One of the best tournament championship games we've seen in the last few years, with some high drama in the ninth between a couple of very good under seeds. Once again, a 4-7 matchup here. Incredible what we just witnessed. And as you said earlier, Brayden, it's just unfortunate that one of them had to lose here today, because man, was this a game.
I'm still speechless to what we witnessed today. Both these teams, it was punch, counter punch. Neither team maybe going in outside of their own clubhouses expected to be in this situation today. And to play the game that we saw today, there was drama. There was a big fly. There was some key hits. There was some great pitching and great defense. This was a perfect baseball game. And Tehl, we kind of talked coming in that if the way that both teams have been hitting, if one team could hold the other one to 5 or fewer runs, the other would win. Our final score is 6-5.
That was the number we had said. Mount Marty, 5 runs or fewer, they'd probably win this game. 6-5, your score. Briar Cliff just was given that plaque. Their first championship. We're going to take a break here on 102.1 FM, AM 1450. We'll come back in a couple of minutes and start our Aztec post-game show. GPAC tournament runner-up, Mount Marty Lancers, just finished off their season as the 7th seed. Highly unlikely they would get that at-large bid once again as the 7th seed, so in all likelihood season in the books. We'll come back with our final post-game show from Aztec in a couple of minutes. You're listening to Mount Marty Lancer Baseball. We'll finish it up back after this.
Whether you're grilling with family and friends, hitting your favorite hiking trail, or catching a beautiful Midwest sunset, Good Boy Vodka ready-to-drink cocktails go wherever the good times are. With bold flavors like lime, black cherry, and cranberry, each can is just 95 calories, no sugar, and gluten-free. No mixers, no mess, just smooth refreshment in every sip. Grab a pack of Good Boy Vodka cocktails because good days deserve a good drink.
Buying a home isn't just about real estate. It's about investing in yourself. At the Move Group, we believe the best time to buy is when it makes sense for you. Our expert agents put people before transactions, meaning we listen first, provide honest guidance, and help you make a confident decision. No pressure, no gimmicks. Markets change, but the right home is about more than just numbers. It's about finding the right fit for your life and your future. When you're ready, we're here to help. Contact the Move Group today.
Scratching your head when it comes to choosing health insurance for your company? Don't worry. Health insurance is what we do, and our benefits will grow and expand as your company does. With Avera Health Plans, you can count on competitive premiums and access to a broad network of care, including well-being support and mental health benefits. Our comprehensive business health insurance will make you look like the expert. Just ask your insurance agent or go to averahealthplans.com.
Hard Mountain Dew, the dew you love with a kick of 5% alcohol. It's a new flavored malt beverage available in 4 bold flavors, including Mountain Dew, Baja Blast, Live Wire, and Watermelon. Mountain Dew lovers of legal drinking age can experience the bold citrus flavors of the soft drink they know and love with 5% alcohol, 0 caffeine, and no added sugar. Experience hard flavors like Original Mountain Dew, Live Wire, Baja Blast, Watermelon, or Baja Blast Pineapple, Punch, and Mango flavors. Get your Dew today.
Imagine paid vacation, sick leave, holidays, and full medical coverage the moment you start a new job. Plus quarterly profit sharing, 5% 401k match, and a company-paid retirement plan. Your first day on the job. With Parker of Yankton, you don't have to imagine, because all these benefits begin day one. We are hiring assemblers, material handlers, and line operation techs for both shifts. Don't mind working nights? Enjoy a pay differential of $235. If you're looking to upgrade your career and have day one benefits, apply today at parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
Rewarding you for doing everyday things, like buying gas, shopping, and dining local. Does your bank do that? If you're a Core Trust customer, your bank does that. When you open a premium or preferred checking account and meet requirements, you get access to Core Trust perks powered by Bazing, an exclusive network offering 300,000 plus deals and discounts on dining, shopping, travel, fuel, and more. Visit us online, in person, or by phone. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
Is it time for a new job? Aztec offers you the variety you seek. Aztec is now seeking employees for all shifts for the following positions: assemblers, painters, CNC machinists, and welders. Aztec offers competitive pay, 10 paid holidays, incredible 401k, paid partner leave, safety incentives, and a sign-on bonus for production workers. To apply for these jobs or see what others are available, go to aztecjobs.com. Aztec, built to connect from rock to road.
All right, back here to go ahead and roll through the Aztec post-game show. Make sure you build your career with the group that's built to connect from rock to road. Out on the field, the post-game ceremonies here for both the champion and runner-up here, so we did talk to Coach Tykrow ahead of this game. They will not, unfortunately, have time to come talk to us. If we wanted to talk with Coach Tykrow, we'd have to wait about 45 minutes because there's going to be quite a long ceremony here. So we're going to hopefully talk with Coach Tykrow tomorrow, and we'll have some quotes with him about this team airing here on 102.1 FM, AM 1450 at noon and 5, and hopefully over the next couple of days. But first things first, we'll finish up this game in the Aztec post-game show. Build your career with a group that's built to connect from rock to road by going through our game stats today. Brought to you by the Meat Lodge. If you want top-quality meat at great prices, head to the Meat Lodge in Yankton on the way to the lake, Highway 52. Briar Cliff wins 6-5, claiming their first GPAC tournament championship. Brayden, give me some quick hits on the highlights of the stats today.
Well, we'll start with the winning team on the scoreboard. 9 hits as a team. Only 2 players recorded multiple hits, though. It was Connor Newbeck and Marquardt as well for Briar Cliff. That would be Cade Marquardt, who both had multiple hits. Both of them finished 2 for 4. Newbeck was able to score a run and have 2 RBI, 2 of the 5 runs driven in for Briar Cliff today. Other key players in this one, Nico Saul, who was maybe more quiet than we expected given his track record here as of late. The Lancers didn't let the big bat hurt them today, but unfortunately Briar Cliff's lineup top to bottom was too deep. Saul went 1 for 4 with an RBI. Also scoring runs in this game, 2 runs for Jake Cronick on no recorded hits. So he reached on an error and also was just given a free pass to the base as well. I believe he was hit by a pitch. So that is the batting stats for Briar Cliff. And looking at the winning pitchers as well, Nick Hayes gets a great start, 7 innings, 99 pitches, gives up 9 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them was earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Cade Nelson comes in, doesn't record an out, gives up 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks issued. Johnny Reed comes in, 1 inning pitched, 16 pitches thrown, 2 strikeouts for him, and then Rance Bryant comes in. The man who's slammed the door on countless GPAC teams this season does it again in the biggest moment of the year. 1 inning pitched, 22 pitches, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. But all the important parts is the 3 outs that send Briar Cliff to the NAIA National Tournament. As for the Mount Marty Lancers on the other side, we'll start with pitching for them, go in reverse order. Palmer Jacobs got the start on the mound, pitched 5 innings, 92 pitches, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs. They were earned, and 4 strikeouts. Slater Watterson came in relief, pitched 1 complete inning, 24 pitches. He gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Aspinall comes in, pitches 2/3 of an inning, gives up 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned, issues 1 walk. And then Garrett Seamson comes in, 1 1/3 innings pitched, 14 pitches thrown, 2 strikeouts, no hits, no runs, no walks issued. As for the batting order for Mount Marty, Aiden Chang, perfect on the day, went 2 for 2, got on base 5 times. Once via the walk, twice via the hit by pitch, 1 RBI for him. The other big hitters today, Shugo Kondo went 2 for 5 with a run and an RBI, and Will Gardner, huge hit late, 2 for 4, 1 run scored, no RBI for him, 1 walk drawn as well. Cooper Milnerick had the big hit late as well, 2 for 5, 2 RBIs for the sophomore, a guy who's going to be big in the future of this Lancer program.
100%. Those stats brought to you by the Meat Lodge. If you want top quality meat at great prices, head to the Meat Lodge in Yankton on the way to the lake on Highway 52. Lancers fall for the final game of 2025 after a great season, come up just short in the tournament championship game. The way the game ended is, I think, what's going to stick with a lot of Lancer fans, this team as well, and I know you and me. Game ended 90 feet away, was that runner to tie it up, and then Aiden Chang on deck, the man Briar Cliff could not handle today. Nobody's been able to handle over the last couple of weeks. 2 weeks removed from NAI National Player of the Week honors. He's had 8 home runs in the last 2 weeks. Guy's been unstoppable, and he was unstoppable today. Went 5 for 5, getting on base with a couple of hits in there, hit by pitch, a walk. They leave him on deck. Next man up never got up, and that does it for the career of the senior.
Tell, if this was Hollywood instead of Sioux City, Iowa, Aiden Chang would have at least got a chance at the plate. That's all I'm going to say there. But you can't play that game, and there's no discredit to the season and career that Jackson Nomas had. I know he recorded the final out. There's no shade on him at all. He played phenomenally all year long. To sum it up in one quote, That's baseball, baby. That's how it goes sometimes. It's not like that was a weak hit either for Jackson Ohm. He ran it out down that first base line. They had to make the throw across the diamond.
It was close.
It's not an easy game. One of the hardest things to do is hit a round ball with a round bat, and especially when you got 8 guys out in the field, but 9 guys trying to stop you from doing just that any given pitch. So no discredit at all to that, but you got to think, like I said, if this was a Hollywood movie, we would have seen them. But, sometimes Hollywood stories aren't real, and I think that it's a little sad, but it kind of shows the gravity of how the game itself is a metaphor for life. You go out there, you give it your all. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but every day, as long as you go to bed proud of what you did that day, and I think this Lancer team could go to bed very proud of what they did this season, you can count it as a success and move on to the day after.
Now Marty out on the field as they finish up their final season. Hugs, shaking hands, and Palmer Jacobs, the starting pitcher for the Mount Marty Lancers, standing alone in the outfield, just taking it all in here. A tough end to this game. Post-game show brought to you by Aztec. Build your career with the group that's built to connect from rock to road. We got to go through our final awards here, our move of the game and player of the game. We'll go to our move of the game first here. We've got a couple of plays to really choose from. The Mulneric single in the 9th to give it to a 1-run game, certainly up there for me. Honestly, I want to consider the Will Gardner single just to keep him alive on a 1-2 pitch in that 9th as well. Then you got Shugo Kondo's couple of runs and a hit today. What do you think, Brayden?
I think
maybe even the double play.
I want to go with Gardner because I'm going to pitch an idea for you for player of the game as well. But Will Gardner, I think, is deserving of that play of the game. I know Mulneric's got him within 1 with that RBI. Huge hit for the sophomore. But that situation doesn't come if Will Gardner doesn't step up as a grad student, a leader on this team, and put himself on base and put his team in a better position for it as well.
That brought to you by the Move Group. If you're buying or selling, move with Mason and the Move Group. And finally, we'll go to our final award here of the 2025 season, our Player of the Game of the GPAC tournament, provided by Avera Health. Moving health forward, Avera. Player of the Game.
There are 2 guys that really deserve it, Tehl, and I want to know if you're with me on this line of thinking. One guy is a senior. He wrapped up his Mount Marty career today, and that's Aiden Chang. 2 for 2, an RBI, a walk. He was hit by a pitch twice. Every time he came to the plate, he got on base. He did his job, and he did his job really well today. He's done a great job in his career. He's the catalyst for this late season run, in my opinion, even though top to bottom, this lineup's done great. However, there's a sophomore who batted 8th today.
100%.
Who came up really clutch when he needed to most. Probably the biggest spot in his baseball career to date. And that's Cooper Mulneric. 2 for 5 for him, but with 2 RBI. I felt like he just, to step up in that moment. I know we're doing player of the game. It's the full 9 innings. But to step up in that moment at that age with that level of confidence and self-control to not go for yard. We talk about situational hitting. To put it where it needed to be to bring that run home and keep your guys alive. I think he's very deserving of it as well. At the end of the day, if you want to choose one or the other, I can, or even give it to both of them. But that's my line of thinking.
I agree completely. 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Mulneric today. And once again, that single in the 9th to bring in the first of 2 runs needed. And he did his job, as you said. Lancers, unfortunately, just not able to finish it after that. We'll give him player of the game from Avera Health, moving health forward. Avera. Also shout out all the seniors for this Lancer program. We'll run through that list of graduating seniors. Hunter Marceau, Jackson Nome, Jay Negabauer, Cannon Dumont, Slater Watterson, Zach Haggy, Chase King, Christian Berry, Will Gardner, Andrew Ramirez, Aiden Chang, William Rao, Shugo Kondo, Ryan Bachman, Trey Vorwald, Kyle Cahal, Will Johnson, and Tegan Schlimgen all graduated on Saturday and now finish up their Lancer careers. Congratulations on finishing at the pinnacle, at the top of the GPAC as you finish, obviously, as the runners-up in the tournament. You make the GPAC championship game for the first time in a while, falling just short in the 9th, but great careers.
Yeah, great careers and a great way to end it, even if it's a sour taste. Some people like sour candy, so you can still be happy about it in the end.
Final thoughts on the season, Mr. Butler.
What a ride. I was really happy that I was able to get out and be part of these broadcasts a little more. I know Mount Marty baseball is something that I don't get a chance to cover all that often. I really appreciate getting to, get out here with you and work with Josh Bolter as well. I know he's done games and everybody, and just get to be more involved with this team. This is a fun group of guys. They deserve the world. Coming in as GPAC runners up, you can't hang your head too low, especially considering what the maybe public opinion was outside the clubhouse heading into the tournament. This has been a great season for them, and I'm glad I've been to be part of the ride a little bit.
Every game I get to call with you, my guy, I'm happy. I appreciate you for being here today. Also appreciate Scotty Borman back at the studio, holding things down, keeping us on air. One heck of a day running board for us as well. That's about going to do it here today. Our final post-game show from Aztec as we say goodbye to the 2025 season. Lancers fall in the GPAC tournament. Briar Cliff has just won their first. For Brayden Butler, I've been Tehl Tanner. This is Mount Marty Lancer Baseball signing off for the final time. Good night.
Thank you for listening to Lancer Athletics on KYNT, a Riverfront sports property and Yankton's home team. Be sure to subscribe to the KYN-TV YouTube page and hit the notification bell so you never miss the action. You can also find KYNT on Facebook, X, Instagram, and online. Remember, KYNT is your home for Lancer Athletics.